Hi guys, this is Jean Holden, producer of the show, and I just wanted to take a minute to let you know where you can find us on the internet. Please go to ThatMan on Fatman.com. There you can find out all the things you need to know about the show. You'll be able to find links to the podcast, to YouTube, to Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram and Snapchat. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Today's show is brought to you by Death Wish Coffee. Death Wish Coffee, the strongest coffee in the world.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and I want to urge you to make a generous donation to the Wayne Foundation so we can stop the sexual trafficking of children. Do it, or I'll find you.
And don't forget to check out our good friend of the show, Mark Live, over at chundertunes.com for all your podcast animation needs. ThatMan on Fatman is recorded with a Zoom H6 handy recorder. Zoom for creators.
Disclaimer. The show you're about to experience is for entertainment purposes only. The hosts use mature language and conversation just like in most of life. If you're too uptight, this might not be for you. All that said, we really do hope you enjoy the show. But if you don't enjoy it, expect a nice big shipment of my joyous Joker juice on your doorstep in the very near future. Toodles!
Yes, please note that use of all sound effects is done ironically.
Ooh-ah. You are listening to ThatMan on Fatman with Scott and Jean Holden, and they, trust me, have a great ass.
The second Y is sent in by
ThatMan on Fatman.
Oh, right on. Scott Holden.
Scott Holden, yep.
And what does Scott want?
Call me Scott because I'm Holden.
As the world's biggest Kevin Smith fan, I appreciate the fact that somebody finally made a podcast about that interesting motherfucker. So, yes, you absolutely did the right thing.
Okay, what has two thumbs and is a huge fan of Kevin Smith? ThatMan!
Scott, who does ThatMan on Fatman podcast.
Yeah.
Ooh-ah.
Well, once upon a time, just a regular man read a book written by the Fat Man. Tough shit written by old Kev Smith.
Ooh-ah. ThatMan on Fatman.
Kev said go out and start a podcast, and so I did, and I had a real blast. But my obsession was driving my co-host nuts.
Who is he? He's that man. He's talking.
Didn't want to bring the podcast down. Needed Porkchop Murphy to hang around.
Go get him, that man.
So I created a show with one heck of a plan, and I call that show ThatMan on Fatman.
ThatMan on Fatman.
Go get him, that man.
We're gonna talk about Kevin Smith.
ThatMan on Fatman. ThatMan on Fatman.
Go get him, that man.
We're gonna talk about Kevin Smith.
Go get him, that man.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode 5-9, or is it finally 10? Are we finally up to 10?
This might be 10.
Yay, 10 motherfuckers. And I jumped in very early and premature. I prematurely started the show because as we speak, Gene is texting with Cousin Johnny Cakes.
Cousin Johnny Cakes.
As I have dubbed him.
I just told him he said
It's
that.
a combination of Cousin Johnny and Johnny Cakes from The Sopranos. Although I think Johnny Cakes was the gay guy, but it's just a funny sounding.
And that is a suitable name for a gay gentleman.
Yes. Hey! So it's, Cousin Johnny Cakes. So Gene is chatting with Cousin Johnny Cakes as we speak about...
I was just trying to get some info about the signing.
Yeah, well, you weren't even trying to get some info. Didn't he reach out to you and go, Hey now.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Oh,
I've
okay.
kind of continued the conversation into.
So it's been ongoing since yesterday.
It's hard sometimes with text because you can't always
Yeah.
complete, and then you go out, and then I don't always say I'm going out, and
Yep.
then the person's like is hanging there. I
Yep.
don't mean that either.
Done
All of
that
us
too?
have been there.
Done that too?
Sucks because you're just hanging there. It's like almost having a conversation, and then you just kind of walk away, like,
Yeah. Well, first of all, folks, as we sit and record this, it's a little late. But I do want to say it is May 1st, and so therefore this marks the second anniversary of the passing of Marco, good time fella.
It does.
From
our buddy,
a former Stash employee and awesome dude, and just a really cool guy and very supportive, and we miss him. We really do. He was a good guy. But the reason that sticks in my memory is because it takes place the day after my birthday.
Yeah.
So on an up note,
yeah, and I think it still has.
We had a good time yesterday.
There's a social media account. I think
Yes.
still available. So if you ever,
and from what I understand now, like Facebook memorializes the account and things like that.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right. So I mean, it's a place where if you have a memory or a thought that you want to, send to someone in the family, or just to say, "I miss you, Marco," that's the place to go.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a place.
Yeah. And if you were lucky enough to know the guy in his way too short a life, yeah, pay him a little homage, and
It's heartbreaking, really.
Reflect on it a little bit if you want, and
yeah,
he was a good guy.
He brought a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Yeah,
I've never heard anyone say, "God, that guy sucked."
Yeah, he was,
because he did.
Yeah, he was one of those genuinely nice people.
And it's really the type of thing where, like, you want people to talk about you the way people talk about Marco. Like, you hope that people remember you in that way, and we do. So we appreciate you, man. We know you're listening to the Grateful Dead up there, or doing.
Yeah, you're probably hanging with Jerry.
Jerry.
Trading riffs.
Oh my God.
Trading licks with Jerry.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
a neat
cool.
thought.
And then Jerry's like, "Dude, you knew Eddie Van Halen?"
He'll be
Marco's
here soon.
Like, "Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he'll be up here real soon." Yeah.
It's like, you fucking played with him? Like, yeah, Marco's like, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a fun thought. But anyway, we love you, dude. We miss you.
Anyway, so yesterday was my birthday, and over the weekend we kind of celebrated a little bit, and then last night we met up with some friends and had a really great time.
Oh my God, we did.
Yeah, I'm one of those lucky guys who gets to say I get to hang out with 3 beautiful ladies last night and just enjoy a pleasant evening of great conversation and good times.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
Yes. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, guys. Well, ladies, guys. You know what I mean.
Yes, the general term.
Yes.
Let's see. What else is going on in the world? Happy birthday to me. Other than that, now that's done.
Who else has your birthday? Because there's a few people.
Well, I believe Hitler has my death day.
Mm.
It's also a major pagan holiday in that it's the May Day, the Feast of May Day, even though technically May 1st is May Day.
Well,
but
it's the day
it's that whole
yeah.
May Day Eve. So they're sacrificing virgins and, whatever else they do, those crazy Wiccans.
Is that what we're supposed to do on that day? Because we did not do that.
That's what crazy Wiccans do. Well, there were no virgins to be found in our crowd. Ha!
Right.
Yeah. I should maybe do something exciting like go.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
That has nothing to do with anything, and I pulled the wrong clip. But anyway, so moving on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Why?
I don't know. Obviously, we need some sort of transition note here. Let's see. So this show, as we put it together, this is our guest today is Rob McCausland. Now, any of you from the old BCJ days may remember Rob because he was supposed to be our unofficial third, and the whole thing caused a lot of drama way back then, and it was all funny and fun and games, but now it was all good. And so Rob was in town. He is now out in L.A., Los Angeles. So a friend of ours has essentially moved to Los Angeles. This is good for us and good for the show if at some point we do, in fact, head out west, which is always on the back burner for us.
That noise was a little happy, a little jealous, a little longing for California. But I love Rob, and Rob's a cool friend, so I'm happy that he's there.
Yeah, so
And that
if anything,
does
that helps us.
benefit-
It gives us like an anchor
Right.
point, a friend, that can help us get our shit together when we get out there, should we get out there.
Right.
So,
Did you know that Gal Gadot and you have the same birthday?
I did not know that.
I was just looking. I'm like, wait, I have to review this. Yeah. She's a new addition that we didn't know.
Yay! I get sexy Wonder Woman.
Oh, my God. You totally do.
I get sexy Wonder Woman.
I get sexy Ralph Garman. So
And-
fuck and you.
And I also get someone you hate, but hey, she's also...
Yeah, and you know what? After you saying that yesterday, because it comes up every birthday, how much I can't stand Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, Kirsten
But
Dunst also shares my
as I've
birthday.
gotten older, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be known as a woman who doesn't like Kirsten Dunst, because that's stupid to not like Kirsten Dunst, because she's an actress and she's a very powerful woman, and I should like her. So I am going to
She's not
reverse.
very powerful. I would.
No, I mean she's a good actress.
She
may
has-
have been annoying quite often in her roles, and I felt that. But I am going to take all of that and throw it in the garbage.
Wow.
I have a
Wow.
whole new Kirsten Dunst attitude.
I don't feel like this is genuine.
No,
but,
it is. I mean,
it
I'm not
feels
gonna
like
be-
it's been presented
No,
as a Maya Copa at the very best.
Because as like there's certain things like when you look at yourself doing something, like it's very unattractive to be that way towards her. So I'm going to reverse it and not be that way anymore.
So you're flipping the script.
I'm flipping the script.
You're
because
changing
it's
your
stupid.
approach.
And plus, I love Spider-Man. She loves Spider-Man.
Great.
What's the point?
You know what? I have a great idea. Why don't immediately after this, we're going to watch all three of those Spider-Man
prove.
movies in a row, and you can tell me how much you appreciate her acting in each scene.
It's not even
Especially
that.
the upside down
No.
kiss where her boobs are thoroughly wetted.
She's very tiny too. Yeah, but I mean,
You know what? Here's the truth. It is her performance in
wait, I have to stop.
in the vampire movie of cousin
Cousin
Johnny
Johnny.
Cakes. Check it in. This is live when we're recording.
I can't wait to tell him that we're talking about this because he just sent me this picture. He's very proud of this picture.
It's him holding the fish.
Yeah, but I think this might be a picture he sent me before.
Yes, it is.
But this is just him reminding me that he's quite the fisherman. And dude, I agree. You are quite the fisherman if that's the motherfucking fish that you picked. And caught, dude.
And you'll have to post that on Instagram
Yes,
so everyone knows what the fuck.
It's hysterical because, dude, I get it. And
So
thanks for
everyone will
sharing.
know what the fuck it is that we're talking
It's
about.
a large fish, and the smile
And
is
make sure
really
that
big.
you hashtag it Cousin Johnny Cakes.
Hashtag Cousin Johnny Cakes, the fisherman.
Yes. No, not the fisherman. Hashtag Cousin Johnny Cakes.
Yeah.
You can, if you
But
so
this-
choose, also put hashtag Cousin Johnny Cakes fisherman.
Right, but this
as well.
is his element. Damn, he's happy. He's like in a boat holding this massive fish that I'm hoping he will probably eat
At
at
about
some
waist level, so it looks like it could be his hog.
point. That could be his hog. But dude, good job, dude. Okay, but anyway, I just had to share that as we go along.
The base of that whole thing.
It's just it's nice to have a relationship with the dude, and it's like anything goes apparently. I mean, like
as far as fishing.
as long as fishing and hey now and all that.
Hey now, yes, and we can confirm there's no ambient in his system.
I don't think there's Ambien this time. Ambien. Yeah.
I always want to throw the T. Yeah. All right, well.
Anyway, let's move on.
So that's our guest today.
Friend of the show, Cousin Johnny.
Johnny Cakes.
Johnny.
Cousin Johnny Cakes. Okay, so, a good time now for us to cut into the Smedlines. What's that noise?
That's me tapping. I'm sorry.
Stop tapping. Here comes the Smedlines.
ThatMan on Fatman presents The Smedlines with Askew News reporter Danielle Ryan.
Hey, Danny, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Regretting my evening choices of cider and hot sauce, but excited to talk about the Smedlines today.
Yay! And we are excited to have you.
Yes.
I won't brutally play shots at you again.
No. He was
This is our second, because we just realized a moment ago, oh shit, we weren't recording. Let's restart.
Yeah, second time's the charm.
Yes.
So it's all good. But yes, I am here to bring you the Smedlines. We've got some fun ones this week.
Yay!
So last week we had talked, and we said that Kev was going to be on Good Morning America the next day, and he went on and announced that he is now the face of Weight Watchers. Yay!
Yeah.
I love that.
Now, but
I do too.
What was weird was he got a lot of backlash.
He did.
And I think part of it was because he, like, after he got off, he started this other diet and lost a bunch of weight really fast. And now it's like, oh, are you going to claim that? Or it's so weird.
People are like, you're a fatty and you smoked pot and but a lot of it is these older women that have been in Weight Watchers a long time, and they look at Kevin, they're like, who's this stoner dude? Who's this guy? Or
right.
whatever,
Well, the people with the diet thing, a lot of people are like, oh, you used the crash diet where you only eat one thing, and you use that to lose all this weight. Why are you doing Weight Watchers? You're going to credit the old diet, not Weight Watchers, for the 30 pounds, right? And Kev responded to that, and he said, guys, he said, my doctor told me I needed to lose a lot of weight fast. I lost that 30 pounds with the diet, the same one that Penn Jillette did. He said, as soon as I lost that, my doctor said, okay, now slow down. Now you need to start losing weight gradually, because if you keep losing weight at this rate, it's unhealthy.
Right, too much.
Yes.
It's too much. And so he's like, you're at a place now where your heart can handle it. So, like, let's slow down and start losing weight. He wants him to lose 2 pounds a week, which is still pretty fast.
Yeah.
Actually, like most people, it's usually they tell you 1 a week. It's
right.
good, but he's with his doctor, so we're gonna trust him.
And there was a time in...
And Weight Watchers is a good way to do that.
It really
I've done
is.
Weight Watchers. And
So
actually,
you're talking to,
And you
you're
said
talking
the
to
2
Weight
pounds a
Watchers
week.
junkies.
And you
of
say
old.
the 2 pounds a week. Like, I remember that even happening, like, when I was doing it.
We know the plan.
It happens. Now, I don't know if it's the same. Like, I know there's a different whole thing
The
going
old
on.
points thing used to be the
points
thing.
might be different. I'm
it's
just
not
thrilled.
that different. I did it 2 years ago, and I only did it for a few months because I'm poor.
Right.
But I did it for a few months just to try it,
Right.
and it's a really, really great system.
is.
Yeah,
Weight
it is a
Watchers
good system.
does
And once
where
you-
you can still eat good food.
Right.
Once you figure out how to use the points and how to
Right.
do it, it's a lot like tracking your calories and
Yeah.
stuff.
It is.
It's-
It's
the work
being
for you.
accountable.
It's portion control. That's
It's
what
portion
it is.
control.
It's a style of portion
and-
control.
and type of food control, and
Right.
just making sure that you're not just shoveling garbage into your face.
And
Yeah,
once
and
you
it pushes you
know-
towards healthy things, because in the end, it's like, oh shit, those are free, or you know what I mean, like
And
that
once
kind
you-
of thing.
And once once you know the program, you can kind of do it on your own. If you just have to be regimented. You know, you
But-
just have to be.
Right.
You don't have to go to the meeting.
I will say this: one of the
You go, a handful of nuts is 2 points, or this chocolate bar is 8 points.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
See, but
that
that's what they
is. But
teach
here's
you.
the thing: the weigh-in, the accountability
know.
of that weigh-in. There is something
There
about that
is.
I say that
And
really
getting
does
up-
help.
Getting up and getting the sticker or whatever, the 10-point
I
sticker
think
or whatever.
it's just more that once a week you're
The
going to have to
10
go,
pound
you're going to have to
sticker,
stand
sorry.
on a scale, and you're going to have to be accountable to
For your-
someone.
That I agree with. That I agree with. You're right.
You can't bullshit yourself at
I
the
know.
end. It's
There
like,
is-
shit.
Some people can do it on their own, but then some people need to be accountable at a meeting or at a.
But,
you know,
I mean, it's good for
function.
Kevin any way you slice it.
my
And
God.
you'd be surprised what his demos are with women.
I
They're
just-
actually very high.
Oh my God, women love Kevin.
Women love him.
Yeah, it's
love-
weird. Like,
Women,
no one,
I've honestly, in terms of like who I've talked to about him, that you would not expect to have a response. You know, like at work, I work in a very boring office job kind of place where it's very stodgy science. Nobody has and
Yeah.
and the people that I talk to about Kevin Smith, most of the women are like, oh my God, I love him chasing Amy, or oh my God, I love actually Zach and Miri, or
Oh my God,
you know,
Zach and Mary. That's a good one.
That's one of
Wow.
my favorites. But people will just, they'll drop, these like sort of the fun, more romantic comedy type
Yeah.
stuff he's done. And women are just like, I love
And
him.
Jersey
Or they
Girl.
love, his cameos on whatever. Or I love how he's doing The Flash. Or
Right.
like men, you either get, dude, I love Clerks. Or they're just like, who are you talking about? That's it.
It's
Yeah.
funny
Or
because
he's like
the Verizon guy who was in here doing the cable upgrade the other day, he did know who he was and was aware of what was going on, but he didn't, like, for instance, he didn't know he just had a heart attack,
Yeah,
which I thought
find
was
that,
weird because
it
almost
was in mainstream.
Yeah, of late, that's almost the first thing I hear from people, like, once they find out that I'm in any way associated with Kevin.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, the heart attack.
I mean, the guy was just on
my
fucking...
coworker asked if I was okay.
Yeah.
Like, she actually, my cube mate was like, I heard about Kevin, are you okay?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean, we get a lot of the same thing,
So many comments, like, are you all right?
So that's why it was kind of weird that this guy, he knew so much about him, but he didn't know he just had a heart attack.
Right.
That is unusual.
Yeah.
But I don't know, but women love Kevin Smith in general. I don't know a lot of women that are... I actually can't think of a single woman I know that doesn't like him.
I'm sure there's some that I do. I know that don't like him. Going back to the Weight Watchers thing, I think it's crazy, amazing that he's in mainstream.
Yeah,
like people
ultimately,
are like, he might be on the commercials. He's going to be in the commercials.
He's
the
a good
ads.
fit. Ultimately,
he's going to be an ambassador to Weight Watchers, like Oprah.
If he sticks with it, it'll be good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's great.
I do too.
And I like the mainstream stuff he's done otherwise too.
I
Like
do
anytime
too.
he pops up in anything that's mainstream, like I live for that thing.
Right,
Like,
and he
even Live Free or Die Hard, and that movie is shit.
I know. I know.
But
It actually wasn't as bad as, like, what was it?
Die Hard 3, the third.
Oh, I
like
like the third one. The second one's my least favorite. The one where at the airport.
With the Vengeance?
Yeah, with the
I like that
airport.
one.
It just felt like.
That's okay. The first one's the best one.
Well,
of course. The first one was an unexpected.
I liked all of them.
Genius.
I mean, I just, I don't know.
But
Bruce
Kevin's
Willis
in it,
is at
and
his prime.
he's in Southland Tales, which is one of my favorite, like...
I like the third one because Samuel Jackson steals the show.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, Samuel
Did you
Jackson's pretty
see
great.
Infinity War yet?
Oh, yeah.
I did not see
Okay, we can't talk about
it. But I've already spoiled myself.
Oh,
So.
well, I mean... Okay, well, I won't say anything anyway.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to talk about it.
So not a fan?
No, not at all. Actually,
No,
the best way to
it's
describe
not
it
even
was,
that.
I will say this. I enjoyed the whole thing until the end.
I'm like
Because
deflated.
I had heard along the way that they weren't doing a two-parter. So how can you fucking... so since I had heard, it's not a two-parter anymore, I figured that they would resolve the story. But they didn't.
But
Now, here's the difference between me and, say, my kids, which was me at their age. I didn't freak out. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, my God, how did they X, Y, Z? Because I'm an adult now, and I know that they'll write this shit out in the next one.
Yeah, I purposely spoiled myself because I have no desire to go see it. I have superhero fatigue, and I super duper have mashup superhero. Let's throw them all in one effing movie.
Here's what I'll say. It's worth it just for Thanos as a character.
I'll watch it when it comes out on DVD
And
or whatever. But like,
Thanos is much. They gave you a bad guy with a lot of layers and pathos. You know what I mean? He's not exactly.
But he looks like Grimace.
He's a total
so
douche.
That does not
Come on.
help.
I don't know. I think Josh Brolin actually shines through in the end.
Maybe, but he looks like the
ball
McDonald's
sack?
character. Like,
once you're there and in the movie, like a lot of that stuff melts away. Listen.
I get it.
I went in cold, and I wanted to love it, and I really did enjoy the movie itself. I enjoyed the ride. I wish I knew that it was a cliffhanger, or or whatever you want to call it. That it needs another act to resolve it.
I loved that. Like every character that I love was on the screen. Like I loved Thor. Pretty much
there were a couple
stole
missing
it
ones
for me.
though.
But I'm telling you, this is what it was like for me. It was like you blow up the balloon, like, oh my God, the balloon's getting bigger, bigger, bigger. And then you just go and deflate the balloon.
I don't think it was deflated. I think it popped.
No,
I don't think it deflated.
If it popped, at least there would have been like a...
No, it didn't deflate. It popped because everybody was like, what the fuck?
No, I felt deflated. I just felt like
disagree.
everything was like...
Gene,
just...
no, because they're going to resolve it in the next movie. It's so obvious, but it's just like I wish I knew that going in because that would have set a different expectation.
Like the expectation.
You got to wait till next season.
That's what kind of annoyed me. It's like but if I had known, it would have been
Marvel, and that's what they've always done. They've done that in the comics, which is why I stopped reading Marvel comics. Is because they did this crap where they're like, in order to understand what's going on in X-Men, you also have to read Spider-Man and Daredevil and Iron Man and Captain America.
That was smart marketing.
It's smart marketing, but to do that to a 13, 14-year-old is some bullshit.
It was great when comics were 10 cents.
Exactly, but when comics are $3 a pop, there's no
more
way.
like 5 and
so
7 and 10 now.
Yeah.
I had to stop reading. I gave up on Marvel, other than like some,
I gave up on all comics because even digital, it's all just too expensive. And if you're collecting, your take it takes up room.
There's I probably spend $40 or $50 a year on comics because there's just like a handful of indies that are worth it to me.
Yeah.
Like Brian K. Vaughan's Saga is one of the best.
I read a lot of Saga. I read a lot of Saga originally. I fell off probably around
when it just keeps getting more depressing.
No, I probably fell off. I want to say, within the first 100 books. You know what I mean? Like, but it was good. I enjoyed it because I like the style. I like this. I mean, it made storytelling very basic. And it was very inclusive and sort of, it had the whole, I don't know, I hate to say, what the fuck, the millennial vibe, but it really did. It had a millennial vibe to it that I get.
Yeah, I dig Saga, and that's what I tell people to read all the time. I'm like, read that, read Wicked and the Divine, because it's crazy, and nobody's doing anything like it, and the art's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
There's a couple of indies, but like anything that's the big names, like DC, Marvel, blah 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 blah, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. They have enough money. Sorry, like I'll read the old stuff because I know that it's good. I'll go back and read some of the old X-Men. I'll go back and read like Frank Miller Batman if I feel like reading some really stupid shit. But
well,
Anyway, on to Kevin Smith.
Well, if you talk about Batman, Dark Knight Returns.
Too. So 2 hours in, allegedly, which
I heard
has
this.
Confirmed, he just yelled no.
Yeah, in the premiere.
Of what? Infinity
Wars.
Who was it though? Which star said it?
It's from New York Daily News.
But I
so
think
it's whichever reporter was there.
But I could have sworn it was Thor or Chris Evans or someone else who was the one who said who heard him.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
No,
from
there was someone behind.
Yeah.
He said that he was behind Kevin or something.
Yeah,
like that
and he heard him yell no.
Yeah.
No, which I could see that. I
could
totally
too.
see Kevin doing that, and
It just depends on which. I don't know when that occurred.
I do,
because he said it was within the first half hour, wasn't it?
No. It says 2 hours in.
Okay, 2 hours. Okay, then it had to be.
I have a pretty big guess as to what it is, and I haven't even seen the movie, so.
Yeah. I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
It's someone. Let's put it this way. It's from Guardians.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
I think so. Because she was the first, I think, who really did. Other than what's his name earlier.
That's the one I'm pissed about. So that's
That.
Yeah, but this is going to be undone because I've already heard that the third Guardians has more to do with her than with fucking what's his name than with.
This is all spoilers. We don't want to do anything to anybody.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, you guys should see the movie though. Well, I will say this: Tom Holland, more of him, more of Spider-Man, more of Tom Holland. Yes.
Iron Spider was awesome. Just as I called it.
I actually will, there's people that are like, Tom Holland's the worst Peter Parker. And I'm like, have you read the comics?
No,
he's
not
the
at
best
all.
Peter Parker.
He's a great Peter
What
Parker.
Are you saying?
And I like Tobey Maguire. In the first movie, it was great.
And
I loved it.
I like Andrew Garfield, but this kid
didn't like Garfield.
This kid
what
is.
It is to be Spidey.
But this kid is good, yes.
This kid is Spidey.
Yeah, he is.
Spidey.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
Yeah. But Iron Spider is awesome.
Full
on awesome.
In every scene, he was just so good.
He's so good.
He stole
he's
it.
Great.
Yeah.
He's nailing it. The only other person I want to see play Spider-Man is I want to see Donald Glover as Miles Morales, but he's getting a little too old now. But
he's doing him a voiceover.
So there we go. Perfect.
In the animated version,
Yes.
they're doing the animated version of that Spider-Man.
Yep.
And that's perfect because he should be in everything.
He really should. I agree.
Oh my god. I don't know if y'all are watching Atlanta, but this season is the craziest thing I've ever seen. So y'all should be watching it.
What show?
Atlanta.
Oh,
okay.
Or as we say it here, Atlanta.
Okay. Is it about your town?
Atlanta?
It is about my town. Yeah,
Oh,
it's about
okay.
Atlanta. And it's Donald Glover's show. The whole first season is on Hulu, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you want to go back and watch it, Glover calls it Twin Peaks for black people.
wow.
I wouldn't go that far because it's not as.
Well, then I'm not going to watch it.
It's not nearly as difficult to get into as Twin Peaks. It's definitely a lot more accessible. It's really, really funny, but it's also sharp and has a lot to say about a lot of different things. And holy shit, as somebody who lives here, he captures what this city is and its weirdness in a really cool way.
That sounds like I might have to watch that.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. And season 2 has just been off the walls. It's been like, season 1 was great, and then season 2, I'm just like, this is so freaking good. Why isn't everyone watching this?
That's always good. Did you see the first Westworld?
I did.
Yes.
In fact, the Westworld Twitter just tweeted at me because they have a thing where like if you tweet it at them, they'll just send you little clips every Sunday. So I just got my clip sent to me.
Scott really did not speak after that.
Yeah, it was very...
he was very quiet.
Yeah,
he didn't talk at all.
It put me into a fucking, like, I need to think about this.
He was in some sort of state. He was like catatonic or something. No, seriously.
I wasn't catatonic, but
No, you were very, like, you didn't want to talk. Like,
I was processing.
Did you like it? And you were like, yeah. And then we just didn't even expand. You were like,
because what can I say to you? Like, there's no way to even like. You don't watch the show, so it's like
you didn't even.
That was way too heavy. That was way too heavy to even like fucking start.
Do I like it? That's not even a question you should be asking me right now. Like it?
Yeah.
This is not even like is not even a word.
Yeah, it's just like
it's not.
Right.
I'm still processing.
Yeah, I could totally get it. Like I need to.
My response may have been downloading.
I did.
Or buffering 33%.
I watched a few episodes. If I were ever to watch the show again, I would have to start right from the beginning because I know it's really intense. It's really intense.
You have to. It's so dense.
Yeah, it's a really intense show. I know.
Yeah, the first season is.
The second one seems like even more crazy.
Well, first of all, it does one of those tricks where it goes, "Oh wow, that's what I've been watching the whole time," and then it doesn't matter because it blows that all up.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing too is that the whole first season, the creators described it as their season of order, and season 2 is the season of chaos. So I'm quite excited about that.
2's got to be better.
Yeah.
Powerful, sexy women too. I love that.
Man.
There are some sexy women.
Powerful, sexy women.
The blonde is
Tandy
amazing.
Newton and freaking Evan Rachel Wood.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yes.
Is that the blonde and the black girl?
That's the blonde and the black girl.
That black girl's beautiful.
So the blonde.
Tandy Newton. She played the one of the villains in the Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay.
Which is a movie that I love, even though it's not that.
I know.
But she gets to have sex with Carl Urban in that movie, so it's like.
What is
Judge
her like?
Dredd and Maeve.
Yeah. How old is she? That black girl? Can you ever get Can you get an idea of what she in her 40s?
She's probably our age. Yeah.
She's in her 40s. Yeah.
God, she
sexy
is a beautiful woman.
Sexy.
She's a queen.
And the blonde is beautiful too. There's something about
Evan
her.
Rachel Wood. I've been in love with Evan Rachel Wood since I was a teenager.
Like, where do I know her from other than Westworld?
She was in Across the Universe.
Okay.
The Beatles musical.
Yeah. Okay.
She dated Marilyn Manson. For a long time.
That's what it is. Oh my God, Marilyn Manson. That's right.
She starred in a movie called 13, and that's the first thing I ever saw her in. And she was 13, and I had a crush on her. In my defense, I was 14.
Okay. You don't have to defend yourself.
So then that totally makes sense.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. It makes sense because I was 14 at the time.
You can just have a crush on her because you can have a crush on her.
She's just pretty. I mean, I have a crush on her too.
I have a crush on her too.
I had a crush on her in the movie 13. She's a 13-year-old.
Oh, well,
I think I have a crush on Carl Urban as well. Now that we sit here and think about it,
I have a crush on Carl Urban
fucking, especially like thinking about his latest performance in Thor.
Oh my God, he was so cute.
Yeah,
I saw that he was there. And
Which
I was
was he in Thor?
I
Can
didn't
I
know
say?
you were in
Can I ask you?
What?
Who was he in Thor? Who is that?
He's what's his name? He's like Scourge or whatever.
He's
kind of a bad guy.
Oh.
He's got the M16s.
Oh, yeah. Carl.
He's like bragging to the women in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then the head comes, the dragon head comes flying in.
He's great.
Yeah, he is. He is a great. He's fucking. He's Judge Dredd.
Right.
He's Judge Dredd. Well, and he's a real nerd. Like he did Judge Dredd. He never took that.
He's a fucking Lord of Rohan.
Fucking dude from Star Trek.
He's a Lord of Rohan. Yes.
I love him. Yes. The names I get mixed
Gene
up.
just
I know.
finally figured out who we're talking about.
The faces I know. The names I get all fucked up, but I love him. The face I know.
Carl Urban is one of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that he nailed DeForest Kelley is amazing.
Oh, yes. I mean, he's the best out of all of them. He has it, like, in terms of just nailing the original,
Yeah.
he's the best.
Well, he had great respect for him, too. He had a lot of... Yeah, he wanted to honor him in the performance.
God. And he really does transform into
Yeah.
the character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shit.
I think he's one of the greatest character actor type dudes we've
Yeah, he fucking... Watch Judge Dredd, man. He don't take that fucking helmet off.
I agree.
Dude, we did a whole podcast on Dredd because that movie. I'll bat for that movie forever.
I love Dredd, but you have to say this: if there hadn't been, what do you call it, the fucking Filipino movie, or not Filipino,
The Raid Redemption.
Well, not Redemption, but The Raid.
No, The Raid Redemption's the first one.
Oh, is it? I've seen them both.
Weirdly. The second one is The Raid 2. The Raid Redemption's the first one, which I've always thought was very confusing.
The Raid Redemption's amazing.
Yeah, it's Indonesian. It's
Yeah.
fucking excellent.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters.
And it's so obvious that Judge Dredd and basically now all of Marvel Netflix have stolen from it.
Actually, the really funny thing is, the script for Judge Dredd, the shooting script for Dredd was in circulation before the shooting script for The Raid was in production. Like, they went into production within like a year of each other. Like, they kind of happened consecutively, like they just happened. And there's actually people have dug into that because they're like, this has to be a ripoff. It has to. And
It doesn't matter if it's a ripoff. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
It's
either,
called we
but
hired the same effects crew, or we got.
Just crazy coincidence.
Yeah, basically, it's an approach. What they did was they made an approach to action was to stop making it so fucking in tight and confusing. That's the fucking problem with American action movies.
Game. Just think of it like Levels is what they did.
Well, they made it so that you can see the entire. They shot it wide. They had no problem showing somebody fly across a fucking room and split their back on a fucking pylon or some shit. You know what I mean? Like you saw every bit of the action. None of it was hidden away.
Excellent French movie that came out before either of these, called District B13. That you might really like, and it's very sort of like Dredd. It's that dystopian shithole future.
Yeah.
And it's in France, and everything's in districts, and District B13 is cordoned off. The police don't go there. That's where all the criminals are. And it's this crazy ass action movie, but all of the main actors are actually parkour athletes.
Yeah. I got you.
It's cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's basically
early action movies like that I've seen. That and Oldboy. I still think the hallway shot in Oldboy gives us a lot of what we have now with like Dredd and stuff.
It started in the 80s. If you look at action in the 80s, everything became in close, confusing, tight, and just so that you can't even watch any Batman fight in any of the three Batman movies with what's his name. If you can if you can figure out what the fuck is going on, I'd be impressed because it's so easy to lose track of the fight. But then, you get the Asian approach where, hey, let's show the fucking martial arts. Exactly. And boom, it changes the whole game.
Well, that was like in fucking
well, if you go back and look at any kung fu movie, they're all shot this way, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is good. I like any Jason Statham movie. I feel is pretty good at pulling back and letting us.
Any Shaw Brothers movie from the 70s is going to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real action.
It's shot. It's like dance. You shoot for the dance. You shoot for the whole. You want to see the ballet. You don't.
That scene.
I don't want to see a fist. I don't need to see the fist. I don't see a close up on a fist.
That fucking scene in Doctor Strange is amazing, though. Who is that dude in that scene? I don't know. I'm thinking of Doctor Strange.
Ejiofor?
Yes.
Oh, I don't even know.
I thought there was.
We were talking about Doctor.
I don't know.
How'd you get to Doctor Strange?
My mind was going there. Sorry.
All right, well that means it's time for the news to end.
Sorry.
Pretty much. So
someone needs a nap.
I do. I'm sorry. I was going Doctor Strange land. Sorry.
Oh, it happened. So with that,
were you the one who told me that Dan Harmon
Dan Harmon?
Dan Harmon is the one who wrote the confrontation with Dormammu. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was you. Because I told someone else that, and I was so impressed with it, but I couldn't remember who told me.
Yeah, he script doctored it.
Yeah.
He went in
because that's the best part of the movie, and that's the reason it's one of my favorite Marvel movies because of that ending.
It's by far the best part of the movie, but it's the most Dan Harmon thing on the planet Earth. I just was sitting there going, "This is so fucking."
It's
Dan
so
Harmon.
humble.
Like it makes sense.
It's so humble. That is. You don't get more humble than that. Like in terms of like, there's no better spiritual battle right there than like literally sacrificing yourself again and again. Anyway,
you guys would like Dan Harmon's podcast. You should check it out.
Yeah, actually, I have it now in my queue since you mentioned it, but I just haven't listened to it yet.
Good. Yeah, check. Actually, both of his podcasts are great. So
yeah, I have both of them in
check
there.
this shit out.
It's just doing that thing of like, I got to listen to it now.
Yeah. I listen to it when I drive to work.
See, that makes it easy when you have to drive.
It does.
Is there anything else?
I wish I didn't have to.
Is there anything else in the Smedlines we should do before we?
The only other thing on the Smedlines that we have to say it. Happy 19th anniversary to
yes.
Jen and Kevin because
Amen.
come the frig on.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's their 19th anniversary 3 days ago, and he shouted them out, and they were at Tribeca Film Festival promoting Harley Quinn's new movie, All These Small Moments, and she's in that with Molly Ringwald.
I know. And tell me,
full circle for Kevin.
The pictures. No, like what woman wouldn't love that? Like the guy who loves his family so much with his daughter and his wife and cuteness.
Yep.
It's so stinking cute.
I know.
It's heartwarming and it's just adorable. And the message that he wrote for Jen just like gave me the warm and fuzzies. And congratulations to all three of them.
Absolutely.
This year just keeps getting better. Like
Yes.
the heart attack was just
I
the bad
know.
thing to trigger all this awesome stuff.
Only
so
good
yay.
things. Yep.
I just wish we got to talk to him a little bit last time we saw him, but it was a very weird moment.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The drunk
guy
dude next to me.
Yeah, he's been dealing with some bad fans in general. Some people were following him in
Oh,
Iowa.
Yeah. That's why I put out a post. I'm glad you actually brought that up. Fans, folks.
Don't be like that.
Yeah, you don't get more fan than me. I mean, we got a podcast about the guy. But there is a point at which even I understand there's a line. And when you are literally following someone in your car, that's becoming creepy.
Right. The worst thing I ever did.
Past the line.
Yeah.
Right. The worst thing I ever did was chase Jason Mewes into a Starbucks.
If you paid money to see the show, the only thing he owes you is that show.
Exactly.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. That's all he owes you. And then he's delivered. Anything over that is gravy.
Yeah, and he's like the type of guy, he does above and beyond most of the time anyway, so don't expect that of him. You should just be thankful that happens sometimes.
Right.
You are not entitled to his
You're
time.
not.
Yeah, don't go
Exactly,
chasing the dude
entitlement.
all over town.
And this is a dude who shows up at someone's work and takes the selfie himself because these people can't take a selfie at their job.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
he takes a selfie and posts it himself. So this is not a douche.
Yeah. So
no, he's not. He's a really good guy. I mean, like the worst thing I've ever done, and I am a unabashed, will totally go up to people at the wrong time kind of dumbass.
Me too.
Yes.
And the worst thing I've ever done was I was sober, but I snuck into a drunken Nathan Fillion's VIP tent.
Girl.
So, people do things like that, but that's different. You don't follow somebody.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't.
You don't follow somebody home. If Nathan had started walking away, I would have been like, okay, clearly I'm out of my jurisdiction. But he didn't. He was
leaving.
like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, taking your fandom beyond the event, if you will.
Yeah, you're following this man.
that's when it becomes weird.
Yeah, you don't know his family's in the car. You don't know his
And I'm someone who is
wife.
also like, when we were in California, we drove by Kevin's house. But I've even kind of asked him, that's why he puts that out there. You know what I mean? Like, we put it out there. Like, I went to see his house. You know why? So when he talks about it, I have perspective.
And you have
Very
a
simply.
visual to go by.
Exactly. I have perspective. I understand what he's talking about.
We didn't knock on the door.
Yeah, we didn't go knocking on the door. We didn't bother anybody. You know,
throw a rock at the window.
Like the Breaking Bad house. Like all these people would go see it, and so many people kept taking rocks and throwing pizzas on the roof. They had to put a fence up around the property.
That's
like that's gross.
Shame on
when
people.
I went, we parked down the street, and I wanted to just go take a picture, like standing on the driveway. I wanted to go to the end of the driveway and take a picture. I was not going to even walk up that driveway because that's not appropriate.
No, and it's almost.
And the lady happened to be out there. And she goes, oh, hi. And I was like, hi, do you mind if we take a picture by your house? And she was so happy that I asked that she was like, oh, girl, come here. And she, let me take a picture right by the door and all this stuff.
See?
But, you just have to have some fucking respect. People are people, and they don't always have to be on for you.
Exactly.
I guess you liked Breaking Bad.
I did like Breaking Bad.
See, I didn't. I watched
It's heavy.
Did I watch a season or two? But my whole feeling of that was, this is the truth. I knew people like that, and it was actually fucking. I couldn't watch it because it was like it reminded me of watching friends of mine go down the toilet.
Oh, I can't watch Handmaid's Tale this season. Like, I'm just not, because it's too heavy for me right now with all the shit going on with women and healthcare. And
I've heard so many.
And the other thing about it was the frustration of, I get one step forward, and I get knocked back two. That is a drug addict's fucking life. And I just watching it was utter I can't take this.
I can't watch Jessica Jones. Like, there's some
see, there you go. And I loved it. I loved it.
You just cannot watch.
Yeah.
I know.
So that's I got through I think it was the second season or whatever, and I was like, I can't watch this guy start at zero again. And because I am watching, I am watching friends of mine who've done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like a vicious cycle. That's what we say. You just see a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Like that jumping off place. Like that place where it's just like never going to get better. It's like, kill me.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's when you live kind of close to that, like.
So, why don't we close down the Smed lines there before someone opens a vein out there?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Also, Smed, Kevin is going to be signing Pops.
He's going to be signing Pops next Saturday.
Yeah.
From 12 to 3 at the Stash.
But they have to be the Pop that's...
I know. They have it. Guys, okay.
It's the AMC Pop,
just
basically.
do this, okay? Go to the Secret Stash website, Jay and Bob, and all of the instructions are there.
Yes.
You have to buy a Secret Stash Pop.
Yes.
And you can have, I think, one other thing, but it has to be a Pop.
Yes. Pops only.
Just check it out first before you go, so you have all.
And then he's speaking at Atlantic Highlands the next day.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's a Saturday and a Sunday event. Next day at 8:30, Atlantic Highlands Theater is Kevin Smith again.
There you go.
So check that out too.
We'll be at that.
We'll be there.
Well.
I'll be in the South, so I won't. But you guys enjoy that.
Yeah. Well, hey, feel free to come on up.
We would love to be able to do that and just have you come with us. It would be so much fun.
One day when they install pneumatic tubes and I can just zoom up there like on Futurama.
Yes.
I'm there.
Yes. Well, if you go to the the big Pod Festival in Philadelphia this year, you swing by or something.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, I guess let me play the closing theme so we can get out of here. And this has been Smedlines.
Thanks, Danny.
You got
Jeez, thank you.
Oh my God.
I just like talking over this goofy closer anyway.
With a skew news reporter.
Your British twin over there.
I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was trying to be, I was trying to be Bane.
At Danny Rat.
It's a mixture.
Trying to give voice work to Bane.
Madonna and.
Yes, it's like Madonna trying to be British. Yes, very much so.
Or Carrie Fisher in A New Hope.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God, what was that?
The more they will slip through your fingers.
And it sucks because I love her so much, like Carrie. Oof, that gave me
one minute.
She makes fun of it herself.
Yeah, because one minute she's British and the next minute she's like, "Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?"
See, I haven't read that, and I should because I love how she makes fun of her.
Well, stay here and rot, you stuck-up bitch.
Not only is it a great behind the scenes of her shooting Star Wars, but she also finally goes into detail about her affair with Harrison Ford.
Yes. So you hear all the dirty details.
Did they smoke weed together? Do they smoke together and stuff?
Oh yes, they did.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
She was all.
Oh yeah, she talks about how.
Hey, she was junked up till the end.
One of the worst parts about her affair with Harrison, she's like, the only thing is that his weed's too strong. So every time I smoke it, I just sit there and stare at him when he says smart things.
No such thing. Go check out Miss at Danny Rat on Twitter.
Yes, she posted pictures of her rats the other day on Facebook.
Yes,
they're cute.
Yes,
I think they were on top of one another.
Of course, subscribe to her over on Freaky Fandoms, and I forgot the name of the new show.
Oh boy, it's an LGBTQ.
Yeah, if you go to freakyfandoms.com, there's got to be a link.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's been proficient enough to have a link to the other show as well. I haven't.
Well, probably
I
by
can't
the
cite
time
that, but
by the time the show kind of
sorts
closes,
out.
I'll have it.
Yeah, and let's face it, not everybody listens to podcasts the week they drop.
No.
So I'm sure
a lot of people are behind. They
all be sorted out in the end.
If you guys do that, I'm amazed. You guys are. If you listen.
Yeah, if you stay current, we're impressed.
Yeah, because if
you stay current, feel free to tweet at us I'm current. Hashtag ThatMan on Fatman. I'm crazy with the hashtags today.
Hashtag.
I'm a hashtagging kind of guy. No, but it takes a while for people to figure out how important hashtags are to the whole Twitter thing.
Oh, right.
So, I mean, it's very important to having your tweets seen by new people. It's basically common interest. Anyway.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Rainbow Reels Pod. Is that what it is?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
Rainbow Reels Pod. It's Danny hosts it with her brother Roman, and they talk about, queer cinema and all that. So check Rainbow Reels Podcast.
Yes, and
Rainbow Reels Pod.
And we have to remember to ask Mr. Hawk when we see him if he'll be a guest on her show, because that would be awesome. It's a good fit.
Right. What an amazing guest he would be, because that's his.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, he is
milieu.
He is queer cinema.
Did I use that word right?
He predates even the term queer cinema.
Did I use that word right? Milieu.
Milieu, yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Bob actually taught me that word.
But it will very much be. Bob has been a major influence in our lives when we use the term and use it properly. Ennui. So.
Ennui. Yes. When he says it, it's just like perfect.
Well, that was the classic.
Ennui.
The Clerks, when he wrote up,
yes.
His review, it was something like a wail of ennui, a classic wail of ennui, or something like that.
You just fall in love with him right then.
Holy shit!
I love this guy.
Ennui.
Yeah.
Is French.
I want some more of that ennui.
Yes. See, and there you go. That's another thing. Those Europeans,
those
people from other languages have words for emotions that ours just don't cover.
Yeah, and if
Germans
you're smart,
have Schadenfreude. What is our response to that? Sour grapes.
Well, and if you're
it just
smart,
is not as cool
right now. And if you're smart, you're not sure what it is. Just look it up now. It's so easy to look shit up.
Yes.
Don't
Alexa, what is the meaning of ennui?
Wait.
Wow.
Say it again.
I'm experiencing ennui right now.
Alexa, what is the meaning of ennui?
Ennui is usually defined as the feeling of being bored by something tedious.
Yeah, I'm feeling ennui.
Every time I record this show, we should name this fucking podcast Ennui.
That's an amazing podcast.
Oh, someone's going to steal that fucking name.
Shoot, we better get the
it's quick, hashtag Ennui. I don't even know how to spell it. I don't think it's
but
W-E-E.
Alexa knows what it means, damn it.
Alexa, how do you spell ennui?
Oh.
Ennui is spelled E-N-N-U-I.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's French.
Okay. And now I'm thinking, oh my God, I've seen
I
that
remember
word,
in the past I used to
probably
jerk off
saying
ennui.
it ennui. Saying it wrong the whole time.
You stepped on my joke.
I'm sorry, say it what?
Oh God. I said all my life I used to jerk off ennui. When I was a kid. That was a porno mag. O-U-I. We.
Oh my God.
You ruined my joke. You stepped all over it.
What was that one? Did that have like jugs or like a?
It was in the category of jugs. I guess it was French.
Oh, it was like the French name.
Oh, it's French jugs. Oui. Yes. Hey, it had a positive name.
Oui. I thought oui was yes.
No, that's what you do in the toilet.
Oh.
I just made a wee.
That's not what.
God, we are way. We are using. Welcome to Obvious Joke Town.
Yeah.
This must be a morning show. Wackadoodle. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Hey, we're here. It's Saturday morning. No, it's not. I don't know what it is.
What is that? It's a Saturday morning. It's Tuesday.
It's a Saturday morning zoo.
It's Tuesday.
Wackadoo.
Oh,
That's my
God.
catchphrase. Wackadoo.
When the Rickroll comes out and then pour Midnight Smoke. That's
Thank you, everybody. Rickroll ya, motherfucker.
That's how we do it. He's like, did you guys just Rickroll me again?
Indeed. All right, but that was a whole. There we go. That was a little train wreck right in the middle of all that stuff. What can I say?
Have we played Rob yet?
Huh?
Have we played Rob's interview yet?
No, we're about to go into that.
Oh, yeah.
We've just came out of the
Rob's a lot of fun.
Headlines.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob is a lot of fun, but it was weird because I don't know what happened. Rob got...
And we've talked about it since.
Yeah, we even talked to him personally about this since, and it just
Yeah.
we didn't get another chance to hang out again because, when you travel, it's hard to do that.
Well, and it's hard to bring it up because he
got guarded for some reason. It was weird.
And
so,
he's our friend.
yeah.
And Scott and him, of course, have a different bond than I do, and he knows him more than I do. But you could tell he just changed.
Yeah, it was weird. As soon as the mic got in front of him and I hit record, it was like, wow.
Yeah,
or like we were supposed to be adversarial, and I really didn't feel like,
right. Right.
It was just weird.
I get it. It didn't have to be that way, but I totally get it because sometimes when you are behind the microphone, you feel like there's like a competition, or you're in an argument, or there's a back and forth, and you're not sure if it's adversarial.
I just think he got a little nervous.
Yeah,
the
he
microphone is more off-putting than people give it credit for.
Motherfucking shit! Can this guy?
We
talk?
do it all the time. And that was it too, because
God,
I even said to him after the fact, we talked about it later. I said, it's so funny because, when we first sat down, and before we turned on the mic, Rob chatted for 45 minutes, and all I ever had to do was nod and say and yeah, and throw in an occasional rejoinder, and he just talked. So as soon as the mic came, as soon as I hit record, and we were we're on air or whatever,
or as soon as we told him, if you had just played, he probably would have just gone.
That's true. If I had just recorded, and
but we don't know that.
Done an official intro or any of that kind of shit.
And Rob is his arms go. He's always he's very
animated.
He's very animated too. So he can go.
Yeah,
the guy can go, and he tells a story, and he's funny, and he's all the things that. We know he is, but sometimes the microphone.
And that's in here. It just took. It was weird. It was like a weird reset, and then it took a while to warm up again.
Right, and I'm not giving him any negative.
No,
anything.
not at all. We love Rob to death.
We're so happy that he was here.
Even why we're even.
Well, because it's happened
we're
before.
also precursing this, just so if it feels weird, that would be why.
Yeah, if it feels like, wait, they don't seem very close.
Yeah,
it's because
hopefully my edit transcends all that shit, but.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It will, but we love you, Rob.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. I hope you come back soon, or we'll come to you. How about that?
But on the upside, Rob is, again, one of my older friends, and someone I'm very glad to still have an association with, and still hang out, be able to talk with, and still share common interest with.
Yeah, and he has some fun stuff happening in his life. He's in
LA, and when we talk, it's like. It still feels like we're still in that same zone. So I like that.
Yeah. Well, and you go right into comic books.
All the geek stuff. And
music, right into bands. I mean, you were in a band together.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, Rob was the bass player in the first iteration of the band that you hear each week at the end of the show. So.
Right.
Yeah, he was
and I was
one.
And I was always there as I guess you could call me the groupie or whatever I was.
Groupie.
Or
you were the number one fan.
I was the supporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supporter.
That was me.
You're too bad we weren't athletics. Too bad we weren't athletes. Then you'd be an athletic supporter.
Wow.
Yes. There's another cheap joke from 1972.
Like a jockstrap?
Yes.
Wow. That would be interesting.
Athletic supporter?
I know, I totally get it.
See, it's not fun when you got to explain it. All I know is I can't wait. Tomorrow I get an X-Wing, a Lego X-Wing.
Is it coming tomorrow?
And a Lego Y-Wing. Yay. That's what I got gift certificates, and so I went Lego birthday.
Yes, you did.
The
Lego birthday.
More ships to hang in the That Cave. So
I don't know where they're going to go, but that's all right.
One will go probably over here somewhere, and one will probably go over there somewhere. And then we're pretty good at that point.
Yeah.
Unless someone should go out and get me the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels.
But it's $400.
It's it's actually $200. It's $250 if you can get it new, but now it's going up because it's harder to get, or they manufacture it less, or I don't know why. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Now, is that an old ship, or is that from the newer movies?
It's from the show Rebels. That show that we like,
yes.
Rebels.
I'm sorry.
It's Ghost.
I'm
it's
not
the main
as good.
ship that they fly. And
yes, and that is pretty awesome.
Yeah. I also really debated over getting the cruiser just because it's fucking huge. It's like the biggest set that is associated
Can you
with
hang
the new
that
movies.
from the ceiling?
It's really big.
It would be amazing if we could put like a universe on the ceiling.
Yeah, let's put a whole universe on the ceiling.
No, like little like glow in the dark shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, glow in the dark stickies. When you close it, it like looks like they're in space.
May as well just paint it black too.
Oh my God, yes, I'm all over that. Actually, no, I'm not all over the painting. I'm all over the idea of painting, not really doing it. I've never been good at that.
Just translated Bing's name to paint it black. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yes, it was a combination. It was a mashup of Ming.
Ming, 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 Ming.
Flash.
Ming, Ming.
Oh boy.
Meow, meow.
All right. Well, without any further ado.
Oh my God, we did meet some wonderful people last night, and they had
Well, save it for post Rob.
Oh, okay.
All right. Without any further ado, here's our good buddy, Mr. Rob McCausland.
And now, here's our guest.
Oh, yeah, that's right, everybody. We are here in that cave with a very special guest, someone who has not been on a podcast with me in a very long time, but someone who I always enjoyed podcasting with. If you go back to the old BCJ, and for those of you who are just joining us for the first time and aren't familiar with that, that's Bone Crushing Juggernaut. That's the first podcast I used to host with a friend called Pork Chop Murphy. He was on a couple weeks ago, so you should be acquainted with him by now. If you're not, go back 2 weeks. But anyway, there was supposed to be a third co-host of that show, but all that fell apart. But it didn't matter because, like, he's also another friend of, like, 25 years or some kind of bullshit. Some incredibly long amount of time. But I want to welcome to the show, I think the first time ever on ThatMan on Fatman, we are welcoming Rob McCausland.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. And, of course, Jean is here, too.
I am here.
I had her potted down for the intro. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yay.
Thank you.
And I'm
Thanks
so
for
glad
having
to
me.
have you on. Because I know that you, in the past, have always been a good talker, and we were talking, like, in the car here, and, like, just about whatever, about, stuff. Like, for instance, you're like, hey, have you seen Justice League? I'm like, oh, boy. If we talk about this is going to be, like, the 5th time I'm talking about Justice League.
It is, it's basically a Batman story. I mean, I like...
Oh, Justice League?
Yeah.
Oh, Justice League is a fucking car wreck. It's a car wreck. Did you notice how... There was one fundamental thing that Batman seems to forget.
And what is that?
Most of the movie.
What's that?
That he spent like over 2/3 of the movie previously trying to kill Superman. So it just seems a little.
Yeah, well, I mean, and then when Superman comes to, it's like all of a sudden he has a conscience to kill.
You know about the
bleed?
You know about the CGI beard, right?
Right, they had to take it off because he was filming. What was it? Mission Impossible 3 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of essentially a contractual dick move, they had to do the more expensive thing of CGI off a beard.
Then have him shave it off.
As opposed to have him shave it off and give him a fake mustache for the other flick.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the realness of Mission Impossible, whatever. What is it? That's 8 or something?
I don't even know.
I mean, as a superhero movie, I mean, it has a good build-up, but then it falls apart. The Green Lantern, I mean, like, why show that without having the Green Lantern,
Gal Gadot steals every scene she's in. That's if it wasn't for her, there'd be zero things to pay attention to.
She made that movie.
Yeah, and the best review that I saw was 5 troubled supermen being babysat by a superwoman.
She was like the babysitter of the babies.
Or Wonder Woman babysits 5 troubled supermen.
Yeah.
It was the title.
Well, yeah, they never really explain why she just decides to trust Bruce.
Where's Martian Manhunter? Where's Martian Manhunter?
They say that the who is it? The Secretary of State now? He's supposed to be Martian Manhunter, the general in the first Superman, Man of Steel.
Oh, okay.
And that he is actually Martian Manhunter.
Oh,
and they're going to spin it out that way.
Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second.
It could happen.
Again, I also thought that my biggest problem with it was that really the enemy you're fighting is Uncanny Valley every time you look at frickin'
right.
But
you had parademons, that whole aspect.
I know, but
you ever think you see that is? You ever think you see Batman with a parademon in a fight, or
but did
how
it
he
save the
them?
movie?
No, but it creates enough of that comic book universe to. I mean, if it's Apocalypse, it all leads up to Apocalypse. Yes, that is. I think that's where Warner Brothers and DC are going to bring that universe alive.
Oh, I think they're gonna. Here's what I think they're about to do. They're about to like. They don't know what to do. They're about to go with the spin it out 1,000 ways. Don't have interconnectivity. Don't have common universe.
But they're trying to catch up to Marvel.
No, they're going the other way now. That apparently they decided, fuck that. Why try and do what Marvel did? They're sort of abandoning. That's why, like, you're gonna have the Japanese samurai Batman movie coming out. Do you know about that one?
No.
Oh, dude. Wait, we have to pause this, play you the fucking trailer, and then come back.
Oh my god, dude.
All right, we want to take a moment to talk about Death Wish Coffee. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and get over to deathwishcoffee.com. And there you can buy the strongest coffee known to man without a prescription.
The world's strongest coffee ever.
Yes, as proudly displayed on my wife's sweatshirt over there.
Yes, on my body,
Yes.
on my mug,
Yes,
on
it's
my
on my mug.
K-cups.
Yes, and you'll know them by their telling sign of the skull and crossbones that
It's
tells
so
you
good.
exactly what you're in for. It's that used to be the international symbol for poison, but now it is the symbol for good damn coffee.
It's awesome. Without milk, with milk, you don't really need it because it's strong.
But
It's
not bitter?
Not bitter. So you don't even need milk. You don't even need sugar, but you can add it if you'd like. It's just really, really the perfect, strongest, most awesome coffee.
Become a junkie of Death Wish. DeathWishCoffee.com. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it.
And be sure to get 10% off your order at www.deathwishcoffee.com when you use the code ThatMan. That's one word, conjunctified, all caps. ThatMan for 10% off your orders at deathwishcoffee.com. I want to take this time to mention to you www.audibletrial.com/ThatManOnFatman. That's right, www.audibletrial.com/ThatManOnFatman. That's one word, conjunctified. Go there, sign up for your free 30-day free trial. Sign up, get a free book, a free audio book, because you don't have to go through no tedious reading. You don't have to turn no fucking pages. You don't have to do any of that bullshit. You get in your car, you put on your headphones, and you are listening to a book. You're taking a magical journey into a fictitious land. You're expanding your mind, all when you're stuck in traffic. Fucking amazing. Audiobooks. These are the wave of the future. And you can get in for free for 30 days. A free trial. And when you get your free trial, you can download a copy of Tough Shit by our Savior, Kevin Smith. That's right. Our Lord and Savior, Kevin Smith, has left words for us to follow in our lives. And we can get it for free just by signing up to audibletrial.com/ThatManOnFatman. That's right. audibletrial.com/ThatManOnFatman. Thank you. Please sign up. You will be very happy you did.
It looks like it's a path that they've gone into, and Joker's gone there too to try
Right.
and take it over. So it's set up with a time travel.
Right,
But once
they go
you're
back.
once you're there, who the fuck cares? You know, then it's Samurai
that's who you are,
Batman.
yeah.
You know. So yeah. I can't believe you didn't see that yet.
No, but actually it's Batman Ninja.
It's Batman Ninja. Yes, you're
No,
right.
I think the last one I watched was Year One.
But he's like
from Killing
Samurai
Joke.
Batman.
The one with the red cipher.
See that the problem with that was they cast the voice of him too wrong. They
Well, Mark Hamill did one, and then-
They cast Batman's voice in Year One too young, I think, because I had a problem with that one. I didn't, but I
But
mean,
Cranston
fucking,
as Gordon.
yeah, he was good. But Dark Knight Returns. Did you see that animated?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is good.
Yeah, I like that.
It is good.
Wow, we're going through time here. So, when was the last time we sat down together? Even
It had to be like
3,
September of 2013.
Wow, has it been that fucking long?
That
What are
long
we?
it
Is
is.
it 2018? What year are we in?
2018.
Holy shit! Wow.
It's April.
Wow. And you're out in Cali now.
I'm in California.
The land of the sun.
It is the land of the sun.
What's it like? Where do you live about?
I live in Reseda. I live in Amigo.
Wow.
So that's
Reseda.
cool.
You sound like you're fucking, you know what? It sounds like, where's Jack Tripper? We got to go down to the Regal Beagle.
There's nothing like that. I mean, I work over in Culver City.
Okay.
So that's like the young, kind of like hip. I want to start the Palms area.
We like North Hollywood where we stayed, only because
North-
it was just like...
That's up and coming.
Yeah.
I like it too. There's really a lot of funky record shops you can go to. Like,
That's so
well,
weird.
you can find records at like your thrift store.
It's funny
And
that
you can find
Gene
really cool
picks
clothing
the
stores
up
there.
and coming place out of the blue.
You know,
She goes to
the boutique, and then there's the ones that are definitely
That wasn't out of the blue. I meant to.
It's a thrift shop, but there's new stuff in there. So it's like
See,
it's
the
a
fact
crossover.
that you're out there now, like we should introduce you to Big Daddy Jimmy V and
Yeah.
all our friends out there
Mhm.
because there are some very cool people in Cali
Absolutely.
that we've met. Like we've only physically met them once, but we have relations with them through the show and all that kind of shit. So it's very cool. And we're looking to get out there once the kids are done with school and it makes sense and all that good stuff. But that's sort of our long term.
I love California.
Okay,
I
cool.
loved LA.
Yeah, we loved LA.
I'll come out.
It's up on this wall.
I love
If it
it
wasn't
so
covered
much.
with the curtain right now.
It was like, oh my god, I felt like I was supposed to stay there.
So did you root for the Dodgers in the World Series?
I would
I
vote
have
for
no
the and
problem.
yes I did.
I wear my LA
and I would
Dodgers
vote
hat
for them because
proudly.
to me I see them as the Mets West,
There's the
But they're the
direct-
Dodgers. They're actually
the connection to Brooklyn.
Yes, the
you know?
Brooklyn
Yeah.
Trolley
Yeah.
Dodgers originally. Yes.
Damn bums.
Yeah. Damn bums.
Damn
motherfucker.
bums.
Jackie Robinson, the original in 1947
Yeah.
race
Yes.
in with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
It's last year. Or
Branch
this-
Rickey.
it is
Yeah.
next year. Or whatever
LA
it
is the best, but New York is the best too.
They're different.
I go back
They're
and forth.
different. It's
They're
like-
they're
yeah.
different, but
I didn't
wonderful.
see them as different as people think.
No, I mean,
I felt it was kind of the same, but you didn't get that island factor. That's actually the good part. You're not stuck on an island, which causes so much fucking...
You're talking about like Manhattan.
Yeah, the Manhattan traffic is caused by fucking bridges and tunnels. Bridges and tunnels.
Right.
It's a different kind of crazy though in LA though.
Yeah, but it feels like the city that's just spread out. It feels like Manhattan spread
Well,
out.
no, there's moves. You can't make. It's like if you go to like Philadelphia and then you go up South Street, it's like crowded. It's like the tourist section.
Yeah.
You go to like downtown Manhattan.
We were in we hung out very much in the tourist section.
Go to Williamsburg now. It's like it's crowded.
Yeah.
There's like or you go to somewhere up like in Boston and hang out. It's crowded. But
Yeah.
you go out there, it's like there's nobody out here. It's like I remember. All right, when I was first out there, I went to Redondo.
What do you mean?
I got stuck. I took the bus. We were in Torrance, so I just took the bus to Redondo Beach.
You
hung
mean
out.
it's a city that's abandoned? Is that what you mean?
Well, when I left, the buses stopped running, and I walked at least 10 blocks, and I didn't see a car. Not a car, like a Mega Man, like nobody on the street.
What
type
is
shit.
L.A.? L.A. is
LA 's
very
shut-
spread out. It's
It's
not
very
really
spread
a
out.
city like we
But
know a
there's-
city.
It's crowded.
I mean, there
here.
is downtown.
Right, and they're downtown.
But there's nothing to do downtown.
Well, there's stuff to do, but it's not like being downtown New York. There's like an excitement about being down there. You want to go and hang out. You want
Your
to see
esoteric references to the L.A. real estate have done nothing to save us, Vader.
Wow.
That was a weird pull. Sorry. I couldn't even pull it together.
That was odd.
Yes, it was.
I don't even know what that meant.
If you see, all right, it's a
He's talking
very
about
bad
real
pull. Star Wars, the Family Guy, the first special. They make a very funny L.A. real estate joke in the middle of what would be them discussing
Star Wars.
The Death Star. Is the Death Star vulnerable to the rebels?
Oh.
Yes, because they have the plans.
Yes. Well, no. But also because there was
They
there's
stole,
a
which was
thermal
stored in
exhaust
and I know
port
that,
that's
they
only
stole
2 meters wide.
In R2-D2, and from there they're going to launch all these movies based on it. R2 will have another important role.
Yes. R2, man. So you're up to date on Star Wars except for Rogue One.
No, I had to go back to Rogue One because it's like now it's like the way I see it is like you have to watch Star Wars from the very first one, which is Episode 5, into 4. Then you flash back.
Well, actually,
no. Yeah, if you
you could do Episode 1, 2, 3.
No, you negate 1.
Actually,
you
here is the
negate
most
1.
interesting way to do it.
You're the one who took me to see 1 for the first time. It was after
Yeah, and
Alan's
you know
birthday
what?
party.
We were all charged up, and we liked it. Little
It
did
was
we
all
know.
right. But there was no 2. There was no 2 and 3.
Yeah.
We knew there was a 2 and 3 coming now.
Of all the movies, 2 is the worst.
But it's the story that's the important thing. Like,
It's
how
so
do you tell
convoluted.
somebody?
It's
Because
so
remember, I was telling you about my wife. She's never seen Star Wars. If I were to show it to her, I would show her from 5, right?
Well, okay. Well,
then I'd show her Empire, and then
hang on.
I say this is a flashback, and you only do 2, and then.
Well, that's what
5,
I heard. You start.
or
Yeah,
6.
you go.
No, 5 is.
You go.
No, wait a minute.
You start it, but you can't do that
Yes,
anymore
2 and 3.
because of Rogue One.
Right. That
Rogue
throws my
One
timeline out.
directly. Like you can roll Rogue One directly into Episode 4.
All right, could you do the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe? Could you do that? I don't think I could. I think by Guardians of the Galaxy,
Do you know they
you'd lose your
but there's a
Oh my
broken.
God, I love that
there's
movie.
claims of a
That's a lot.
broken.
I love Guardians.
There's claims that Spider-Man broke
the timeline.
Yes,
And how did
by
Spider-Man
4 years or something. It's broken by 4 years. He's 4 years in the future somehow.
But it's going to get fixed.
Well, but
It's
here's
gonna get
the,
fixed from
here
Doctor
is the pro-
Strange, 'cause
Here's
Doctor
the
Strange
problem.
has
God, I love Doctor Strange.
Actually,
too.
here's the.
That's what's going to happen.
If you
Doctor
watch that
Strange, I think,
movie,
was one of my favorite ones.
it's
With
fine
Benedict.
if it takes place now.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's actually fine if it takes place now.
So when's this? Is 4 years after 2012? When?
Well, they make a if you pay attention, it's like
to Kevin
they start it when he's like a little kid, and then they say like 8
Michael
years
Keaton's
in the
character.
future or some shit like
All right,
that.
go for Michael Keaton's character. When did that?
No
the timeline?
fucking idea.
So he was right there after the attack, and then his contract gets
Well,
canceled.
yeah.
So it goes back to 2012.
Yeah. Well,
and the
if
rest
we're-
of it is like the now.
But if you go back to him, the kid,
Okay.
they start it like not long after that, and then they're like 8 years in the future or 4 years, however long in the future. And if you do it, it ends up being too far. It doesn't work right. It doesn't line up.
All right.
However, if you watch the movie, it seems to be taking place in the timeline as it happens now.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
But like,
So who cares?
who cares?
It fits.
It's Infinity War.
Yes.
It's out the 27th.
Yes, it'll fix everything.
It's supposed to fix everything. That's why you should see it. So like when you see it, you can look for
And
like,
Captain
they didn't
Marvel
fix it.
and Captain America will die.
We are seeing that.
You did
And
that? I think it's. I
don't
definitely
say
think
that
it's. I think it's
again.
Downey. I think it's Iron Man.
Well, here's
Don't
the
say it
thing.
again.
Here's
Oh.
there
One of
are
Captain America dying
there are
hurts.
2 stories on the table,
There's a story
and
no matter.
both are showbiz inside stories.
Right.
One is there is a Captain America movie. There's another Captain America movie
Without-
slated in the next crop of movies.
Right,
So
the
the
Phase 4.
next movie to come out will be a Captain America movie. Now the contradiction problem is Chris Evans apparently at this point has no existing contract with Disney and with that, so he is not under contract anymore.
So basically, to kill off and give like it to Bucky or create a new Captain America. Corps.
No, or Falcon. Because Falcon took it up in the fucking comics
All right.
too. So
No, that's
and
fair.
I would go with Falcon because I'm all for diversity.
Do you think they're
give fucking African Americans a black Captain America?
All right. In that case, then why not kill off Robert Downey Jr. and give it the young black girl becomes the Iron Man?
Oh,
Like, Miriam.
I'm there too.
You know what I mean?
I love
and
her.
I really think Kevin
She
Feige.
is the fucking.
That's the storyline of the MCU.
She's
and that writer's work.
I don't know what it was about that girl, but she is fucking magnetic. She's so cute.
It's a good storyline too.
Oh, who cares? She's gorgeous. Did you like Black Panther?
Yeah.
You didn't see it thrown around in the theater like we did. Though.
No, I didn't see. Actually, I think I saw it in IMAX.
4DX. There was the one thing that like Cameron and I were having a debate about was you really do get herked and jerked around. Right. So during fight scenes, like there was a point at which I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I don't have to see every punch. I'm just going to enjoy this experience of actually either I'm being punched or throwing punches. I don't fucking know. I'm just being flung around the theater. Because you're doing a lot of this. Yeah.
Right. You're actually being like jostled.
Yeah, you're being jostled. And they're hitting you with fucking
So no,
like,
I didn't see
things
it that
in the
way.
back of your...
That's kind of wild.
But
yeah, it's
some
like...
mysterious smell they kept spraying in. Now, usually, like they say...
The flowers?
If it's screeching cars, it's supposed to
That's
be
kinda
like
cool.
tires, you know,
like a modern day polyester, right?
Yeah, but we couldn't it smelled like some sort of fart. We could not figure out what the fuck it was for like
It wasn't a
and
fart. I don't know
and
what
we
it
couldn't
was.
even figure out what the association
It
was.
like
Like
that's all right.
Like, is it supposed to be the jungle? Does the jungle smell like a methane fart? I mean, is that what? You know,
It was like
and it was, and they spray it like.
And then when you say it like that, it
out
sounds.
of jets, and it's like on my clothes now as I'm leaving.
And
I'm
then when
smelling this fart.
When you say that, it sounds so mean. Like, oh,
That
does the
is
jungle
bizarre.
smell like a
And
fart? Like, that's not what I meant.
There's a
but-
lot of rain and wet in that movie. They're fighting in the
Did they
water.
give you, like,
and shit.
water?
Yes,
Like,
they
the
spray.
spray?
There's water
Mist?
spraying
Oh, no, I
everywhere.
turned my water off.
There's like some sort of weird
That I wouldn't
water
like.
ballet.
That's where I gotta be
front.
like, because then I'd be like, what's up with? Why did I even come to do a movie? Like anything? Why don't I just go to like
Have you hosed down? Well, okay, it's weird. We had the
How about
very.
3D?
I really had and the 3D is there too.
What do you think? of
I was
that?
like in the very last seat. So what hey dude, all we're getting is the wrapper. What was I gonna say?
Here, wait, I'll do it. Give it to me.
Like so, but I look up and there's this weird water ballet. Now I think what's happening is water is being like splashed into like a catcher, and so it's kind of going around. It's not really landing on anybody.
Right.
But I'm in the corner, so I really don't know that. So it's all, as far as I know, the fucking rest of the theater is literally getting rained on.
Emulate the rain in the jungle, or when you're underwater.
Well, I'm serious. It's like I see this stuff splashing around.
It's
all
kind of
over
cool,
the
like
place.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah, it's sort of it's an effect. Yeah, and
I
yes,
didn't like it. I turned my
they
water off.
do water jets, but it's more like that mist. It's like a fast.
It's like a video. It's like a action park theme park.
Yeah,
ride.
yeah, and like every time there's a gunshot, you feel a
All right,
blast
let me ask
of
you
air
this.
on
And
the
you
back of
feel
your
like a
neck.
punch
Let me
in
ask
your
you
back.
this: when Infinity War, are you going to go watch it in that same
I'd love
format?
To. That would be fun. It's 2 hours.
Well, here's the thing:
It's 2 hours
It's
and 40
pricey.
minutes.
It's like $30 a seat.
No, it's more.
But you're
than
gonna, yeah, all
It
right.
was
So, but you also got
So
the
you
motion.
save it for the
It was like
one-off,
45
you know
or
what
50,
I mean?
Scott. Yeah.
How much was it?
It was more like 50.
But would you go back?
It's like $50 a seat.
It was more like 40 something. Yeah.
For the right movie.
I would go back
For the right movie.
I would go back for Infinity War. That movie's only
Infinity Wars would
3
probably be
hours.
one of them. Yeah.
Infinity War is going to change the whole continuity thing. So it's going to be
I
like,
can't
but
wait.
there's going to be like.
Well,
All
you know
my
what's going
favorite
on.
people
All
are in
that
that.
they've timed. All these actors are like
Right.
too expensive.
All my
now. They're
favorite
just
people
too
are in
fucking
that
expensive.
movie.
They
Everyone
can't keep
I
them
like
under
is
contract anymore.
everyone I like is in that movie.
Yes. And Chris Evans is probably going to be the one who dies.
Oh,
You think it's Chris Evans?
it just kills.
I think it's Iron Man.
Well, here's why I think it's Chris
If
Evans.
Chris Evans
Chris
dies,
Evans
it would
died
hurt
in
me.
the comics.
Oh.
I mean,
He
Chris
died in
Evans,
the
I mean,
comics.
that
Please
Captain
don't
America was
die.
that was, and it was after Civil War. It was not long after Civil
They're
War.
going to tease that Iron
Captain
though,
America
you think
took a
it,
shot.
it could
Captain
be
America's
Iron Man.
always
I
been
think
my
it's-
favorite. It's so sad.
Because he's already tied in the Spider-Man
Yeah.
so much and all that.
Ugh.
And think about it. It could be, if we're talking story, that could be the thing that sort of shifts Tony back to like, I need to run to the Avengers again. And to
What
become
about Thor,
less.
and Chris Hemsworth, and Mark Ruffalo. What about those cats?
I wouldn't be surprised if Thor's gone.
Thor.
Or the Hulk.
I wouldn't be
Can you
surprised if
imagine
Thor's
Thor
gone.
dies? What?
He's immortal, but maybe we'll see. I don't know. I loved Ragnarok though.
Ragnarok is cool. That was on the plane, and
You
it was
can
like I
hear
couldn't,
the
I couldn't watch
screaming.
the end of it, and they were like, "The plane is now descending."
You can hear like the young girl screams.
I watched For All the Money in the World though, from LAX to Chicago.
Ah.
That is kind of like
For All the Money in the World.
Yeah, the one where they basically whacked out Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah.
And they put in
I
Christopher
didn't-
Plummer.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
And it's
I
like
know.
there's scenes that
Dude,
like
you know what's funny?
it's almost an entire movie.
His second to last movie, I loved.
Oh, Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
That was
Like
good.
I don't
yeah.
give a shit that he's in it. You know
was
what I
such
mean?
a
He's-
great
I can separate the
And
man from the
Ansel.
fucking work.
Ansel Elgort. was
That
great.
movie is fucking. The first 10 minutes of that movie are perfect.
About like the deaf, weird, like kind of like autistic car driver, right?
Yeah, but dude, it's essentially it's a music video. It is so amazing.
And Kevin Spacey plays a heavy.
Yes. He plays sort of like he's the
bad guy.
He's the pit crew. He's the guy who puts the teams together. The criminal teams together.
Yes, so they can
he's the
drive.
money man.
And he's the perfect driver.
Yes, and he's the getaway driver.
But no, I think yeah.
Hey, Punisher's in it.
In what, Batman?
No, in the Baby Driver. Punisher's in it for a little. John.
Yeah, Christopher Van. What do you think? Have you watched any of that series?
Punisher?
Yeah.
So good.
Fucking awesome. You
Oh, you would love
want to know what was ironic?
How about anything DC?
I had literally just finished watching the first season when Michael called me up. He's like, "Want to work?"
Is
I'm like,
that
fuck
weird?
yeah! So that's where I worked for a couple days.
Right.
Jeff
All
Loeb
right.
is one of my favorite episodes of Fatman on Batman. Jeff Loeb, he came into comic books. He wrote Challengers, he brought back
wrong?
Challengers, Challengers of the Unknown or whatever.
Right.
Like in the middle of this renaissance, he revitalized these nothing characters. But
in DC.
Yeah. And then he got to do Batman. But before that, what was also going on, the reason why he even got into comic books in the first place was one year he happened to write, someone paid him $1,000 to write a Teen Wolf movie that they could, a comedy horror movie that they could shoot because they had $1 million.
Right.
And then
But like Teen Wolf, like revisit like the Michael J. Fox.
It was the Michael J. Fox Teen
Can we?
Like Type.
So he wrote. No, it wasn't
Yeah.
Type. It was that movie. It was Michael J. It was Teen Wolf. So he wrote that, and with his other friend,
I never saw that.
he wrote Commando.
I never saw that.
Commando.
Commando, I did.
So
see.
he wrote Commando and
Commando
fucking
was excellent.
Both those movies were in like were in the top 10 that year
of being made.
Yeah, so he went from like a kid who just came out of college and wrote these 2 scripts,
right,
to like the fucking guy that everybody wanted to fuck, at the party, because he had 2 hit scripts. He had Commando and he had fucking. But so he was a comic book geek. Then he went to comic books. Now he's running somewhere along the way. He went from DC to Marvel. Now he's running all those shows. He's in charge of the Marvel TV universe. So also it includes,
which is tied into the cinematic.
Yeah, by that fucking other show, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. Also falls under that wing.
What's the other show? Did they still have the one like this? They were the
Inhumans or something like that.
That was scary. That was real bad.
It was really.
It was really.
It's amazing how they could make like great shows on one side, and great movies, and then like
just tank,
just total shit.
That's just like the worst storyline, and it's in Hawaii.
I've also felt that like Avengers of S.H.I.E.L.D. has always been a little thin to me.
Yeah, it was, but it's one of the worst performances by Bill Pullman or Pullman. You know what I mean? Like it was like really sad. And it was like, but I watched it because
you wanted it to. Did it finally get canceled? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought it was still on.
I think it is. I think they restarted.
You know what's still on?
I don't think the Inhumans is.
Do you watch Gotham?
A little bit.
They're
I got
finally
in the first
to the point
season.
where there's almost a Batman. The show is finally going to become interesting.
They're
waiting 10 years for this kid to fucking grow up.
All right, did you see the
Let's take the most interesting element of a Batman show and remove it.
Exactly. We'll take you right to the edge.
Yes.
And then there's Krypton.
Yes, another show is like,
Another
hey,
show,
let's take a
like,
guy.
let's
Let's take the most uninteresting aspects of the fucking Superman mythos and expand on them.
It's supposed to be before Superman.
Yeah, bullshit. All these shows suck. All these shows suck. They all fuck everything up.
But do we want them to suck? I mean, do you want it to be successful?
Do we even want to make it? It's like, why go that direction? Stop.
See, remember how good Smallville
like this is why.
was?
This is what my problem was with the last Star Wars movie.
Why not bring that back?
That they rewrite the timeline.
The last Star Wars movie felt like... Okay. Remember Clone Wars?
Okay.
Clone Wars, the story... Oh, I defy you to explain it to me. Explain me the story of Clone Wars.
Basically, it's with the wiping out and the marking of the Jedi, and it was, and that...
No, that's the third one. 2. Explain to me episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
I was just explaining. That was the one where it was to show the Jedi.
No, it was to find the clone army. That's what that fucking plot. That's the only way.
Oh, replace the Red-About army.
That's it. That was the fucking plot. But you can't fucking figure that out because it is loaded down with so much ridiculous bullshit.
But you know what happened? It was Boba Fett, and they were cloning him, and he became the original clones, which became the original Stormtroopers.
But you don't know what that movie is because, as my friend Michael would say, it was an uninteresting fucking mystery story. It was a mystery story that
it was a showcase for the Jedi.
That no one understood,
to a degree.
It was a love story that nobody fucking cared about.
No, it was. There was that love song. But with Natalie Portman and what's his name, Justin Slater.
Yes, it was a love story no one cared about, and a mystery that you didn't even care if it got solved or not.
Well, you didn't care about that.
The Mystery Planet, so much so that he went into a fucking space diner and met with his buddy.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was that original Tempest CGI.
Oh,
it was like, what?
What is going on here?
Or the whole concept of the city. It was just too advanced for Star Wars.
Well, I didn't mind that. Because, again, 3 environments per movie.
Right.
We'll go see.
But it was a new one to that universe.
See, I didn't have a problem with that. But
That was bad.
How did we get here? Oh, okay. So
no,
what it was
about.
The most recent one is kind of like that. It's so ambivalent. It's such a mess. The plot is all over the place.
But what's the main storyline? The Force is no one should handle the Force.
No, actually, and that's what's even more annoying. The listeners, I'm sorry, folks, if I'm doing this again and you're hearing it again, but hey, what the fuck? It's a good friend here. This is new to him. He spends the fucking first 2/3 of the movie telling you why the fucking Jedi suck. And then he does the classic Star Wars quick turn. Jedi forever! Rules, bitches! They're coming up your ass! You know what I mean? It's
like the ultimate Jedi trick.
It wasn't an ultimate Jedi trick. It was the fucking cheesy
but that was the thing. It was the thing.
It was as legitimate as... It was as legitimate as, yes, master, I will now kill younglings.
The storyline has its flaws.
Yes,
but it's the intactness. It
was a mess. It was a mess.
But that's why I don't know. I should go back to Road One.
I really did like the reboot. I liked JJ's Star Wars. I thought that was a great installment, and it put us on a good footing. And then this other guy came along and fucking messed it up. And why isn't there a Kevin Feige in charge of the Star Wars universe?
I don't know.
That's
weird.
the problem. It used to be George Lucas. Granted, you could complain, but there was one guy who sort of saw the master plan.
But he made the thing that everybody hated, which was 1.
I got
you. He made the thing that everybody loved,
but
which was
exactly
5.
Yes. Well, all of them. The first 3.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. There are kids out there. Who are now like in their 30s.
That didn't experience what the first one was.
Experience 1, 2, and 3 with their fucking Star Wars. They had all those. I feel bad for those kids.
But they didn't have to go to the theater and
see it sucks? Like the new kids now, we're getting a great new Star Wars that just got fucked up by Ryan, whatever the fuck. Whatever his name is. Anyway.
But it could be saved.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
I thought Egon was cool. I thought there would be more tie-in. I don't know, like.
You thought there'd be more tie-in how?
To basically Infinity War at the end with that part in St. Louis where it gets eaten by the mob.
Have you seen all the promos? They are definitely in this fucker, and they play a pivotal role.
But they come in with Thor.
Well, they clean up. I think Thor's about to get his ass kicked.
Yeah, he's about to be wiped out. I think Loki's going to be killed. Because you don't see much of him except for like one scene.
Well, if you know the true Thor mythology, Loki isn't supposed to be on the side of good.
He's the one mischief.
When Valhalla, when it all comes down.
There's no more Asgard.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I would love them to do like a storyline like the Civil War where they hover Asgard above like Nebraska and just people are freaked.
Right, because we've released Ragnarok.
Right.
And during Ragnarok, Loki is not supposed to be on the side of good.
But all the gods are killed. Thor is supposed to die.
Yes,
the serpent of the world.
Yes, he did. Now he's blue guy. He's Odin. He's Odin Thor.
He is. He's king.
He's Thornton.
His Highness.
Thornton.
And what about that young, the Valkyrie? Will she be a victim of the Thanos?
Yeah, and what happened to his fucking the woman who in mythology is supposed to be his wife?
Right, she got rid out.
Yeah,
she didn't sign. She was doing that show,
but she didn't die.
No, she didn't die.
But they killed all the rest of his dudes.
They killed the entire.
They killed
Hogan.
Or whatever the fuck.
They killed Reinhardt and.
Oh my god, that was so fucked up.
It was.
They're just dead.
But not Sith.
Yeah,
not in the cinematic universe.
She wasn't there. Well, it had to be Dark World.
Dark World.
Did you like Dark World?
Dark World was a drag, man.
That's one of the tougher of the.
No, I think I don't know. I've got in time. It's like when I first saw Captain America, I was like, "What?" And it broke. And Christian was like, like
Captain America?
Yeah. And then when I saw Thor, I thought, my God.
I thought Thor was great. I liked Thor the first time I saw it because I guess I expected so little. You know what I mean? And it turned out to be a good movie. It was enjoyable. It was fun. It set up Thor nicely.
So when it comes to the dark, I mean, in some parts. I mean, I really wish he turned into like a weak mortal like Dr.
What
Donald
I find
Blake.
funny is how much people like claim to hate Iron Man 2. But I defy you. Put Iron Man 2 next to Iron Man 3 and tell me which one's better. Iron Man 2 every time. It's a better story. It's executed better. It's just a better movie.
And just trying to put the reactor back in because we see him looking at that. That's where he took it out.
We meet Black fucking Widow. That's where we're introduced to her. Everybody forgets that shit.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
James Rockfield.
And what's his name? Yeah, what's his name is fucking the anti Tony Stark.
James Rockwell is.
Yeah.
But he's the head of AIM.
Sam Rockwell. He's awesome as fucking head of the
Sam
AIM.
Rockwell.
Yeah, he's great in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have You have Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke's crazy.
They killed him off.
I'm Russian scumbag.
Sam Rockwell.
Mickey Hartline was like, no, don't touch the bird.
I love watching that movie with fucking what's his name? John Favreau directed it. It's got John Favreau.
That was
yeah. Out of Flushing, that young man.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool.
Yes.
Right across from Shea Stadium.
Right in Queens.
Yeah. Boy, you flew
right
into
in,
today.
right by.
Right into the toilet in Flushing.
Use guys.
Nah,
it's so ironic.
I've yet to be at Citi Field. I remember being at the last.
I have family there. I can say that.
Yeah.
I remember being in Shea for the last time. It was a few years back.
2008 Cardinals. That's when I was there.
It was during a good year too. It was the year they got in the playoffs when we saw them at Shea last time.
Yeah.
We still living in Virginia?
06 or whatever. When was that?
Yeah, it was like 07. Was that the magical
somewhere
year?
around there,
And then they couldn't win another game. And just
oh my God, the
they
Mets.
went out. It was weird because I got into baseball that year with my son.
They start out so strong, and then they're like,
that was a cool year because for whatever reason I was into it that year.
Wasn't that's like a drag? It's like when you get picked up there. It's like LaGuardia. It's like all the work, and it's just like you
hey,
have
the runway is underwater. What the fuck?
It is. It's just like they have this cool thing on the plane.
It is
you
a
can
ghetto.
watch
It is like
it's bad.
It is the.
I think
it is
they're
a dirty airport. It smells.
I think they're fixing it up.
Looks
they are. That's what
it looks like. Indigents live there. Oh, they do. That's why.
Just wait after this cosmetic surgery. How it's going to look like?
Yes.
I don't know. What if it's like the Long Island Railroad or Long Island LIE of like?
It doesn't matter. It'll look great until it floods
water.
the first time. You know what I mean? And then it doesn't matter.
It's all in swampland.
Yes.
I think it'll be fine.
When the water recedes, you get what you get.
Yeah, it is in Flushing, you know.
Yes, Flushing Meadows, I believe.
Meadows.
And you fly right by Citi Field.
Flushing Meadows.
That's pretty.
Citi Field, not named after the New York City, named after a bank.
It is, but a lot of them are.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the tradition. The oldest baseball stadium is Wrigley, and it was named after. They had dealings with the gum.
Oh wow, I didn't even realize that.
They had dealings with gum.
see
So
it.
it started. It's like from the oldest to the last one.
Wow. Oh, excuse me. Wow.
What's the White Sox? It used to be like AT&T Cellular, and it was like, wow, who would want to go there? I mean, it was
that
like
has
weird.
a ring to
like with
it.
Chicago, with the Chicagans, it's
They're
like,
the White Stockings.
Yeah,
they got it over their heads.
It's like the South Side. It's completely different than being like with the Cubs, you know, because that's their. I mean, it's not like
Actually,
the Yankees or the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's like the premier team.
I heard that the Red Sox are supposed to be very good this year.
The Red Sox are very good. The Mets are very good, and so are the Angels.
Let's go, Mets! Get this fucking shit together.
And I swear to God,
I cannot believe we're fucking talking about baseball.
God, the Mets always fuck up.
Right into it.
I like baseball. I do.
I was stupid enough to stumble.
I just want the Mets to win because I get very excited when they do.
We'll see.
Yeah, well,
I think they will. I mean, like some people are like, "What? You know, I'm jumping off the big champ bandwagon."
Hey, we like baseball. So what, people? It's not only Kevin Smith. We can like baseball too.
Okay.
Really teasing. Is that what I sound like when I laugh?
No. So we got to get you out to Cali. We got to get you. We got no. You're not out to Cali.
Got to meet.
When you're out of Cali,
I have to go back.
We have to get you to Scum and Villainy.
I know. You have to get over to that bar.
And you got to size it up for us because we want to do a show out there. So
Yeah, that would be fun.
we actually are planning a.
We need like an agent out there to help.
That's in
us.
Hollywood proper, right?
Yes, it's right there on.
It's right on
Stars
Hollywood
and Bar.
Boulevard.
Yeah, it's on Hollywood Boulevard. Yes,
I'd
where all
like
the stars are.
to, yeah, because we need somebody to be our agent out there to help.
One
us.
of my favorite, my favorite pictures that was taken on my trip out to Hollywood. It was Gene. We were like, we have to find fucking what's his name? We have to find. God damn it!
Oh my God! Why can't we think of his name?
Dude, guy.
Such a jerk.
Wow.
Not you, just in general.
The guy?
No. Just in general, the fact that
Wild
we
at
can't
Heart. Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart.
So, no, you can't think of it.
No, Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage.
So we were like, we got to find Nicolas Cage's star. And like no more than a few minutes does she say it. We like look
Oh
down
my
and
God,
it's right there.
I could not
it's like
believe
right
it was right there.
So I was like, this is amazing. All right,
Nicolas
you
Cage.
have to take a picture of my picture. But wait a minute, I have to see if I can summon my best Nicolas Cage face. And I don't know what happened.
Did you wear a snakeskin jacket?
I don't know if being near the star.
Window of your individuality,
but
I
was able
personal freedom.
I think I really do believe I was channeling some of the dude's demons because the picture did something. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like did you see the thing about Elvis on HBO?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you can just tell, like Nicolas Cage had access to a lot of this stuff at that time, and he is just like trying to be like Elvis.
He is.
Kevin
met
him
like
lately,
and he's like playing it off like he likes Elvis and sings Elvis with a metal band, but Nicolas Cage is like, you know, he's ripping off. It's just like really weird. It's like a dude doing an impression of Elvis throughout the entire movie.
Finally met,
but not a good one.
Nick Cage.
You know? And you know what? Whatever.
That was a big thing because Kevin was a huge fan.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Kevin likes
while
him.
talking to him,
right?
Fucking Nick Cage goes, you know. So he asked Nicolas Cage which of the roles that he played, what did he like the most, or what did he enjoy the most? And he said he cited Once Bitten, or you know, the vampire movie.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why he said was because it gave him an opportunity to play both comedy and horror. And then he said, and blend those genres, and very much the way that you did in your movie Tusk. So fucking Nicolas Cage had seen Tusk and like called it out and complimented, and made a reference and compared, and so
to
Kevin was like blown away.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was like one of those moments.
But you were channeling his dark side. That's what you said.
Yeah, I was channeling just the
my question to you is,
crazy side, that
the Elvis side. It was an act.
Or that like, you know, he loses his fucking mind as an actor, and you just wonder what the fuck was he thinking. Like Wicker Man and all that kind of shit. Man.
Yeah, like he'd lose it and he'd be like, Evan, no.
Yeah.
That happens when I like, drink wine and I watch my Cobra. Like I mean, what the fuck?
It's
you
crazy
know?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, shut up. Just answer the question.
Yeah, or even like when he's accepting, I love acting, and I think that we all should be able to do this more.
But like, you know, he is like part of that like L.A. He grew up out there.
Yeah.
And he's Francis Ford Coppola's kid.
Yeah.
Or nephew, right?
Yeah.
So like all of that came
is.
to him. Like
That's
he's
right.
like he's not going to view life the way we do, and
Yes.
it's like or the average person living in the street of LA. If you go to the Palms, everybody's like trying to emulate somebody.
Yes.
And it's like
He's
weird.
trying to emulate Elvis.
And every person I met that's from Jersey always tells me people from California are fake. Just watch it, and that's like wow. It's like the common thread. I don't get it.
But that's not true.
No,
I mean, they're
it's
as
not.
fake as the people from fucking Jersey. Everybody's fake.
Everybody-
Southerners are fake. Southerners are as fake as they come.
Southerners
That's the
are-
one thing I've really.
Well, Georgians are like, you know.
If you talk with that fucking accent, your accent is an affect. You know what I mean? You.
So what? You become eccentric at parties here in the north.
How y'all doing? You know, you're choosing to do that. That's chosen. That's an effect.
That's an
because
effect.
guess what? We've all.
All right, let me ask you this.
The reason
If I
don't
talk
have-
like this,
the reason I don't have an
Southern accent
is because I'm like everyone else in America. I was raised by the TV, so we don't have an accent anymore. So accents are a choice. They're just like beards. They're there to hide something.
All right, so I guess back to that. See, I'm not on video, so you can't show it. Yes, I am sporting a beard.
Yes, you are. You're sporting the hipster beard.
I like it.
You know, the Punisher had to shave off his fucking
But he-
hipster beard in the first couple episodes because everyone kept busting his balls and kept calling him
He was supposed to be a military, you know, military expert. though.
Did you see that?
I do like the
I remember
Punisher a lot.
like the tie-in with a little bit.
Because she's like walking in and he's like, what are you, a hipster?
He didn't like that.
That's why I had to
at
shave it
all. I know,
off.
he shaved it because he didn't
And
want
then
to
he
be
had to
bald.
beat the shit out of some guy with a sledgehammer. That was awesome.
He said because he doesn't like hipsters. He said.
Because I don't like hipsters.
I don't think Rob's a hipster at all.
No, there is like I played with some cat, and Patrick.
I could see him coming.
Yeah, I
really
knew a
well.
dude who was from Williamsburg, and it was like he was in a band, and he then formed a band, and he wanted me to like rate his single, which was being
that
up
guy.
in Australia. Yeah,
That crazy. Is it that the rockabilly whack guy?
no. He actually was a dude in Williamsburg.
We should talk music. We should get into music because here's the thing. This is what, like when I had Keith on, like I was hoping that we would take a walk down memory lane and talk about some crazier stuff, but I guess and it just never happened.
It never took
like,
off.
He's one of those guys who has the dirt on me, you know, who could have done that, but you know the
But
opportunity.
he's not
never-
like that either, though. That's not his
How is Keith?
personality.
He's good.
He's really good. We
What
just
kind
saw
of gear is he
him.
playing?
know
Because
what?
Keith always said, I still have his
saw him,
amp.
like last weekend.
Hang on,
I'm going to
dig
see that
this.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we saw him a
Marshall.
couple weeks ago. It was so weird. We were just happened to be in the area, and I pulled, and I'm like, let's just check up on him.
All right.
So we pulled in, and
What was the drummer's name?
oh, Mark.
Mark.
But hang
Oh,
on.
the redhead.
But yeah, so
Not
Keith-
that kid. The guy before him, Chris.
Oh, the blonde guy.
No, he had like
Chris
dark
Penny?
hair.
Chris Penny?
Before Chris Penny.
Chris Penny's still been around. Penny actually makes.
He went to
doing
Dillinger.
scoring work with us.
Yeah, it was not him. It was the original drummer.
The red-haired guy?
No, he had like.
Oh, wait, Rob, the big.
That was the blonde.
There was a few.
No.
Then there was Tom Giddings.
I was in the army then.
Oh, Tom Giddings.
the original
Tom
drummer.
Giddings,
Tom
yes.
Giddings, yes.
That was you, me,
And
Keith, and Tom.
Oh my
That's
God.
I played the
ori-
bow.
That's
That was
the
the
original
original
Prozac.
Prozac.
So
I
the
like
closing music that you will hear at the end of the show, because we close with Prozac still, we play. That band started. Rob was he was the original. Yes, you were in
You're
the original
bass
lineup.
player.
I was in the original lineup.
There was a phase 2 between.
There was a Brian playing.
Then
bass.
there was a Prozac when I was in a band that
was-
chose its name to be Cosmic Lemniscat
Oh yeah.
with David Huff, who
Yeah.
reached out to me on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
the
like,
singer.
yeah. And Ross Cantor, he ended up playing in a Tom Petty tribute.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
And
smart.
then
Does he
Jay,
make money?
no, he was going to go, and they asked me at one time if they were going to make children's records, but it was like I couldn't get behind the music they were playing.
See,
I couldn't. I don't know at the
Right
time.
now,
my head
like-
wasn't right then.
My way of thinking is, if I was going to do something musical, if it wasn't original,
Right.
I would do a tribute band because it's very simple.
Right. I mean,
because
yeah.
here's
but
why.
You would have to love the artist. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Petty's a
It would
good
obviously be an artist
I like
that I
Tom
love,
Petty.
and because I really think tribute bands do a lot better because you know what the audience knows what they're getting.
Right.
You know
that's what they're there to see.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're there to drink and have a good time listening to the band.
Enjoy this fucking.
Instead of asking them, do you know, like, Behind Blue Eyes? I'm at the Who tribute band, so I'm going to see, like,
Yes.
it right after Can't Explain.
And they like the songs.
And it's like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter that the dude doesn't look like Roger Daltrey. It doesn't matter that the dude doesn't look like a Pete Townsend. As long as I get the hits
Yeah.
right here, right now,
Yeah.
from these guys, or guys and gals,
Oh.
and gal.
Did you?
Like, I'm going to go see Blondie. Do you
You
think,
know
like,
what-
I'm going to be seeing, like, the band playing their songs, like, as that? You know what I mean?
You know the drummer from fucking what do you call it?
Like
that
New Blonde?
super metal band.
What band?
Play
Dream Theater.
originals.
Dream Theater.
Yeah, but they will. That's all. I don't know.
Dream Theater. Fucking what's his name?
Oh, that
Oh
whole
my
like
God,
prog rock
Mike,
metal thing. See,
Portnoy.
I never got that.
But Mike Portnoy.
Portnoy,
One of the
he's drummer.
things that he did.
All
First of
right.
all, he's sober many years, and like is very open about that. But like. He put together. He would get like, oh, we're doing, this drum show. Wants you to get together and have a band. So he would put together a tribute rock band.
Oh my God, these are so
All right.
fun.
His fucking Who band
It's amazing.
was
We'll have to show it to you
incredible. Yeah, I'll show you the footage.
They're amazing.
Okay, the singer from fucking Extreme, Gary Sharon.
Right.
That was the singer. So he played the Roger Daltrey part.
Right.
He kind of bared resemblance and definitely has the same range.
Yeah.
It's who he usually has on guitar is the fucking.
Do they
guy-
do a version of Slip Kid?
Is the guy from Mr. Big whose name is fucking
Billy Sheehan.
Billy
The bass-
Sheehan and the bass player too. So both
Billy
the bass
Sheehan-
player and the
And,
guitar player from Mr. Big was Steve.
Paul Gilbert.
Paul
Gilbert,
Gilbert. Yeah. So it's Paul Gilbert.
It's really the whole
That
thing's
the
amazing.
bass player who's that Billy Sheehan guy's.
No, yeah, he was. Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it is.
Really
It is.
is.
It was like a whole other level. Like,
And they're just playing the fucking Who. It's like those guys were made
yeah, I would go hang out
to
and watch
play
that.
the fucking Who. It is incredible. They
know,
also
I
did a
know.
Beatles. He did a
Yeah, but they
Beatles
did it
cover.
But a lot of
band.
bands, Cheap Trick. I mean, it's like a lot of bands do. Like, it's
I think they did
Well,
it
no,
live at like BB
he had,
King.
He had Yellow
BB
Mallard.
King in
He had
Manhattan.
Yellow Mallard Custard. That was
Oh
the
my God,
Beatles
it was
one.
so
He's done a
good.
couple
That
times.
was amazing,
That's also.
too.
I mean, that's a hard thing
They all
to
have
do.
Paul Gilbert. That's the one thing.
Paul Gilbert's
I think,
amazing.
I
Did we,
suspect,
now I remember as
I
Prozac,
suspect
we
Paul
never
Gilbert-
covered the Beatles.
I suspect Paul
No.
Gilbert
Right?
You
is
should've.
also sober, but that would be.
I
that's
think
why
Paul
that's the
Gilbert is
connection.
sober.
Why did we never cover the Beatles?
What?
Yeah.
The original one.
Because
You
they're
never
too
did.
hard to cover.
All right.
They're too hard to.
I remember I played Fight Like a Brave on that bent Telecaster bass, and it was like it just had that one PAF pickup, but I was just like slap it.
It's a California jam.
Yeah.
And that became like the thing. Yes.
Yeah, and then we play like Higher Ground, which is just another thumping bass line on that thing. And
We
then when I
play-
got I'd rent one from like Star Music, which
Yes.
was here, which is no longer with us.
No.
Yes.
Woman
No,
had all
it's
the
not.
cats.
Oh, but there you go. So when we saw Keith,
right,
he had one of these weird little fucking small world experiences. And Star Music is what just tipped me off. His first like guitar ever that he learned on was like a Strat copy thing.
Right.
But he always remembered it and had very specific kind of pickups and a very specific look. He went and sold it to Star Music. A couple years later, which is a couple years ago, I forget where he said he was. I think at a garage sale or some shit, and he looked down.
He found it.
There's his first fucking guitar.
He bought it again?
Yeah, man, that's incredibly great.
You were looking right at it, too. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that was the thing. And so he did a little research. He asked, "Oh yeah, it was like at a yard sale. It was at a fucking yard sale." Because he asked the person there. It was their son's guitar. He had bought it used from fucking Star Music, so it was like fucking full circle.
That's
he
wild.
found his first guitar they plays on. So yeah.
That's wild. Every time I go by a place and you see an instrument, you got to walk in.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. All right, your first guitar. Mine, I can tell you, was an Ibanez Roadster. It was a precision bass, and it was wood colored. When I first had it, it was great with the black pickup.
I will tell you this:
I spray painted it blue, and I peeled the pickup up except for the tone and the volume knob. Now, if I found that,
any of those,
would I buy it?
Any of those 80s? This is
if somebody invited.
Here is a truism. Here's a truism about seriously. I've had a luthier tell me this, and also fucking Keith, Mr. Guitar Geek, knows this shit too.
But Keith always loves the vintage.
No, but here's the thing. During the 80s, guitars in America became shit. Japan became like the little center. Now, remember the Creeping Ivy?
Right.
That fucking...
the Squire series. Of
that Bob Weir played? That was an Ibanez. That was sort of the beginning of the Japanese guitar renaissance. If you buy any Ibanezes, and even my cheap shit Roadstar Series 2 that we used to make fun of...
Right.
is built better than any American guitar from the period. It's mahogany. It's like, because I had it all cleaned up, and this luthier told me, he's like, no, don't change a thing. Keep it stock. This is a great guitar. This,
and that's an 84, right?
Yeah, it was an 84.
So the one I had, yeah.
Yeah, that's why as soon as you said Roadster, I'm like, that
was the brand.
It's the same.
They copied Strats, and then they copied, I forget, and I guess it was precision based.
But they did it well. They just gave a shit, when Americans didn't at that point.
Right.
The craftsmen cared about making good instruments. So that's why those guitars are actually good. We made fun of them.
No, but I'm getting
We called them firewood at the time.
I'm getting an Artcore. Like I got one on layaway.
I've got an Artcore bass right over there.
Yeah, I know.
Hanging on the wall.
I got this one. It's green with a racing stripe, and it's a series, but it's a flower design on the headstock, which is like because that one with the lightning bolt, it says Artcore around it, and that was the logo for it.
Yeah.
So this is
I like the Artcores. I remember, it's funny, I was pushing you to get an Artcore.
Because I had a Gibson. I had a Gretsch.
You
the
ended up
Gretsch
getting the Gretsch.
5120.
You ended up getting that Gretsch.
Well, the Artcore is an almost exact copy of that to a degree, but it's like it's more like a Gibson, so it's like wired right. It's like you're not
and I hear they're a little more playable. Like that. Like I've always heard the Gretches are a little finicky. Like I don't know.
They can be creaky.
Yeah,
you can with the bridge will roll. On
yeah.
Very fast.
Yes.
So the Artcore doesn't do that. Yeah. But most people would rather play. Like when I was playing rockabilly, it was like get the Gretsch because it's like it's got the Brian Setzer vibe and the Reverend Horton Heat.
But now Gretsch is owned by Fender, I believe,
and now you get your full circle. It comes back to Fender, so it's like why not just play a Strat, or American?
And it's also like it's kind of like Americans' obsession with the Mini. We never had Minis. You know what I mean? There were no Minis. You would have had to have them imported.
No, I know a dude that had.
So now everyone's like, I love Minis. Well, Minis were rare in the fucking U.S. Volkswagen Bugs we had.
Yeah, but Minis, like when you saw them, like in England and like Germany, it's like you couldn't blow up a tire when it went. I mean, those Minis now this dude had. I would roll with it. It's like it's got the thing that tells you if the tire is going flat.
But what I'm saying
is, you have time to go over to the side of the road and fix it.
It's false nostalgia because. Like Gretsch was much more a European guitar, much more played by people from Europe until the Beatles sort of made it cool. But
what Gretsch? Yeah.
But more Americans thought they played fucking casinos because of a couple of posters.
That the Beatles play casinos?
Yeah, because they held up their Epiphone casinos.
Oh,
they got some sort of endorsement, over here.
The John Lennon one.
Well,
I like that. I like
John Lennon
Epiphone.
eventually sanded that one down.
All right, the Flying V. I had one of those. The one with the blonde, like.
Gene's like, yeah, the flying V.
Yeah,
I know it all the
it's
time.
like Albert Collins.
So
no, I
quiet.
had the flying V with the
listening.
black one. So it's like the one Albert King played.
Well,
so that's
also
the
Jimi
copy
Hendrix
that.
actually played that too.
Yeah, but then Jimi Hendrix
known.
played like a 67 and it was like strung left-handed. There's actual Jimi Hendrix one. Yeah, it's like then they set it up
Well,
like a
that's
right-handed
sort of a-
guitar with left-handed like features.
So,
I thought he just
as a
flipped it
lefty,
over.
I know this
Right.
for a fact. If I want to buy a Tony Iommi signature SG, I have to pay more for the lefty model.
Yeah, you have to pay like
That's
$100.
He is
That's
left-handed
bullshit.
and plays a left-handed guitar.
That's bullshit.
They should knock $100 off
Yeah,
for
you
that
should
one.
get a discount.
Right, you're there.
You should get a discount. Well, because he's a lefty too. Of course he
Yeah,
should.
exactly.
And it should, or it should be the
Ironically,
same.
I don't
Why
know if
wouldn't
you-
it be? Why is it more?
Same
well, it should be-
story.
all right.
Same story. The reason why he's a guitar sound guy, Cameron lost his fingertips in a lawnmower.
Really?
Yeah, a few years ago. But the same thing with Iommi. Like it was so.
Well, it's the industrial accident where the sheet metal fell on his finger, and it took him off, and then he had the process.
These two, just like. So, but I
Do you know what
that
his high strings
Because
are?
at the time we're looking for any kind of
Right.
like good story. How can we spin this good?
I like Jerry Garcia's story.
Yeah, Jerry Garcia.
No, Tony Iommi's beats him because he makes. All right, Jerry. This is Jerry's. Jerry cuts off his thumb from his brother with an axe. Right. Yes.
Is that how Jerry?
He lost his finger. They were cutting wood or something, and with an axe, he loses his finger.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
how.
It was an it was some
It was an
sort of
accident.
That
It was an accident.
hurts.
Tony
No.
Iommi goes to
Well,
work.
most people lose their fingers in accidents.
Tony Iommi goes to work.
Cameron was in an accident.
Right,
was
and he
cutting
loses
the lawnmower. You know,
he loses-
I'm gonna remove the grass. I'll clear the grass real
Right.
quick.
But
And
you're
the
right,
problem
you don't.
was he had already done it successfully a few times.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I don't need to know that either.
Yeah.
But what happened to him? He was at
the
work?
metal. Yeah, so he loses the top of his fingers. Then he makes the prosthetics. And then he changes the strings from
Tunes
banjo
down.
strings, and that
Oh.
changes metal.
And he
That
dro-
creates metal.
Yes, he
because
drops,
he
and
dropped
he drops
D.
the tuning. He drops the tuning.
That's why
The
Tony
lower-
Iommi, because he lost his fingers, and it
he
changed
dropped
his music.
it, and he dropped it
Good for
down
him.
so the strings would be less tight, and he could feel them more. With
Smart.
using metal fingertips, that he had on.
The real Sabbath ones.
Yes.
Rip that off.
Mhm.
Corrosion of Conformity. Totally
Oh.
got it. And then so did, the band Dope.
But here's
That
the
whole
thing:
time.
Corrosion of Conformity is like 4 different bands, and that's the truth. Because the original Corrosion of Conformity was a fucking hardcore band,
Right. From North
The
Carolina.
second incarnation, where like a member or two left, and I think another guy was replaced.
And that's where they did that Black Sabbath song.
Yeah, it's very dark. It's very black. It's very
very heavy.
death metal hardcore.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
stoner
yeah.
rock. It's
Yeah,
basically stoner rock.
Animosity, I believe. I think is the name of the
Yeah.
album or something like that. Yeah.
Albatross. That's the song you're thinking of.
It might be on there. But then, later, they sort of tried to become... Well, that's probably when they had the most success, when they became sort of a new metal or, a metal band. Metalcore, whatever we want to call that music. So, after, post-Metallica.
Something.
Yeah, and that's when they sort of took off. Corrosion of... Because I actually learned, when I was with Bone Crushing Juggernaut in Virginia, we learned a Corrosion of Conformity cover song, and I was appalled. I'm like, why are we learning this corrosion? This is like
I think I
learning.
probably know what it is.
This is like learning something off Cargo instead of the First Minute Workout. That was a great reference. Only a few will get that one.
We got it. That's all that matters.
Cargo.
I love
What's
Cargo.
Cargo? That was the follow-up. That was Men at Work's famous follow-up album.
Was that the Vegemite sandwich
That's
one?
the Vegemite.
No, the Vegemite's the first one. The Vegemite's on the first. That's the Men at Work Business as Usual album.
All right, and they on the cover of that they're dropping a parachute on an island, and it's
Yes.
Cargo.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
why
album.
it's not Cargo.
There is a hit on that Cargo album, but I can't remember what the fuck it was for the last.
I can't remember that.
Well, the Down Under was one. But then
Most of those
a
hits are off
business
Business
as
as
usual.
Usual.
Oh.
The second album was comparatively a flop. And while we're at it, let's talk about Jay Giles' band and Angel in the Centerfold.
It's like Cardi B. It's like
We got from Cardi B.
No, but from Cardi B to covering. To covering the
Cardi
song.
B.
What is Cardi B
Vegemite
covering?
sandwich.
What is she covering?
The Jay Giles band, Centerfold.
Oh.
Redo that.
I can
yes,
never
yes.
see her doing that.
I'm gonna make money moves.
I love over.
Money move. Oh God, that was too loud. Sorry, folks.
You spiked it.
Yeah, way.
So all right. So this Batman Ninja.
Yes.
This looks cool. I'll give it 2 thumbs up from just the preview alone.
But it looks like that's sort of what Warner Brothers might start doing. They might just say,
But if you put him in a Batman who moves to
continuity, fuck,
overkill. That's the song.
the property.
Overkill.
Oh, that's
the
right.
famous song.
That was right. Overkill.
It's just overkill.
It's an overkill. Maybe we'll close
Wow,
with
that sounded so good.
The Men at Work song from Cargo.
God, we're fucking atrocious today. Oh boy.
April 29th, 1980.
April 29th? Wow, the day before my birthday.
Yeah, 1983 though, so that was a long time ago.
Yes, I'd have been 13.
Yes.
What a world. 13 and sexy. No.
That was
Kids
the
are
same
much
year.
sexier today.
I think that was the same year that
pretty cool.
Duran Duran album came out.
Probably.
But you can do that now with the Batman. You can put him in the continuity line, and you can make him the Batman of the 80s.
Yes, the 80s Batman. Or you could do, you know who you really have to do?
Who's
If you're
that?
going to do an 80s character, you got to do the 80s Storm with the mohawk.
Right, you do those X-Men again. You don't take him out of the 80s. You keep him there for the next movie.
They fucking did that in the last movie, though, didn't they?
They were the 80s. It was
they did.
83.
And they're going to do 90s in this new one coming up.
So is Wolverine, it's like when it comes time to him. So his timeline is like early 2000s, so he'll still not be in it.
Did you like...
I love Wolverine.
Wait.
Did
you like Logan?
Logan? Logan's sad, and it's the end. It's
amazing.
the end of
I
that
love
game.
Logan was
loved
so good.
Logan.
And it was for like,
fucking what's his name was
Patrick
great.
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart was amazing. He got to play it for comedy
Right.
and fucking
Callenbach is like
such a great movie.
Yeah.
Such a great movie. It did have all the feels.
That was one of
didn't
my
it?
favorite of that year.
It had all the feels, that movie.
It was a nice way to
His daughter
wrap
was
it
like
out.
Badass
And plus,
with those
finally, we
feet
really
and
get
like,
to see.
those
You get to
feet.
see fucking him cleave fuckers' brains out and shit. You
Right,
know? It's
right.
like
That
seriously
whole thing, you know, it's
cut
like the
loose
guy's
finally
like-
after 30 movies or whatever.
He's
Finally gets
amazing.
To really inflict harm on a motherfucker thanks to Deadpool.
the guys who are jacking him. Yeah, well, it's a Deadpool, and that'll be interesting.
Deadpool 2.
With Josh Brolin
As fucking
Cage or Cable.
As Cable, yeah.
That's going to be.
So he's both Cable
and he's Thanos.
Yeah.
So like he's got the whole Marvel universe covered.
Well, you know when they do this reboot, there's only one more super duper bad guy we could be building up to.
After this Marvel one,
Yeah, we'll have to be going for Galactus next.
They say that. They say
If
that.
it's
No,
Thanos
do
this
they make
time-
another Fantastic Four movie? Because you ever think of that, where like with the other ones
They
break
have
off
the property again,
and they had the other one, the guy who played Creed and
see, I really
and the drummer.
Right now, Guardians of the Galaxy to me has all the Fantastic Four vibe, the family. That's
All right, does so you replace them, but
yeah, I like
and
they,
then you
but
don't bring the Fantastic Four back.
They've got that. Here's the other thing. Now that they have X-Men again, I've always been a fan of the X-Men in their own universe.
Yeah,
because it makes more sense.
Unless you do an X-Men versus Avengers movie.
Or if you want to do Secret Wars and you want to bring everyone together too, but
Secret War, it gets blows people mind. Then you have to bring Galactus in, and you have to it's already established
Then you
to
get-
the people who haven't read the comic
All right,
books how
here's-
important Galactus is to be stuck on this planet with like the rest of this universe.
you know we're getting Iron Spider in this motherfucker, right?
Right,
The
that's
Iron
the
Spider
case. That's the
suit.
case. Yeah, you're gonna have the cables that come out.
Yes. Dude, like, because that was sort of like when I was getting back into comics around when Civil War came out, and that fucking picture is a gorgeous shot of him in that fucking Iron Spider suit.
And the world will probably know Peter Parker's Spider-Man, which will change that whole time. So all the Spider-Man movies will be different from the storyline.
But did he out himself? He didn't
No,
out himself.
he
No, remember
he would
at the
have
end, he's
done
like,
it
"No, I won't do
when
it."
Tony Stark had him join the Avengers.
Yeah.
The world would have known Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and then he's part of the Avengers.
Yeah.
But he bails to be
Yes.
the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes. I like Civil War. That was a great movie, too.
Civil War is pretty much the... Well, I would say Winter Soldier to Civil War. That's the best. That's
Those
what I-
are so good. Winter Soldier, I agree. Like,
Yeah.
that movie fucking,
Like the thing
blew
with like
my mind.
Right, and this coming movie is like the Bucky Captain America vibe still there, and then you got Black Panther's pretty much stuck in there with the Hulk and everybody else, and then Thor meets Guardians of the Galaxy. They're gonna try to bring that all together, and then Super Bad Man Thanos shows up with Doctor Strange and Iron Man. That's why I think Iron Man might buy it.
I don't think Iron Man will buy it
Because
they've got too much. I mean, from a business standpoint, They've got too much with Spider-Man. He's in the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man will be there, but Iron Man.
Yeah, but
Robert Downey Jr. steps down.
That's where he's getting all his tech. That's where he's getting all his tech.
Then they spin off Wakanda. I think they diminish. Wakanda gets.
I wouldn't
like,
be
almost
surprised
half
if he
in there.
did step down because I think he gets paid the most.
And then it's Wakanda tech, and then they're going to change the hero line. They're going to kill them all off.
I think
That I
Robert
would
Downey
believe.
Jr. gets paid the most.
What do you think of Vision? I think Vision's as good as gone.
He could be gone.
I think
but
it's
I
gonna be like,
think they're going to develop the.
I think it's going to be the old Thanos is
with the
going to
Scarlet
snap,
Witch.
and that fucking gem is going to pop out, and that's going to be that. No more Vision.
I think you could spin it off with like him surviving Scarlet Witch, and then you spin it off, and then you combine the X-Men later down the road.
A lot of people weren't all that happy with the Scarlet Witch, though.
It's a different take on it. They're not mutants. That's the thing.
Well,
They're
they're
enhanced
not.
by an Infinity
They're not-
Stone.
They're not.
There's no mutants in this universe, or at least not in dimension. Like the DC universe, you're a metahuman. You're not a mutant.
There's actually a word that they can use. It's they call
enhanced.
No, it was
That comes up a lot.
What's that other word? In humans, or whatever it was.
I didn't watch it deep enough to know what
like
their
that
theory is.
word was supposed to be. That's sort of their take on mutants. Where we would call them mutants now, we call them Inhumans. But now they can use mutants again. I would assume.
I guess
because they've got. I mean, they bought all those property from fucking Fox.
And if you've got that, why not use it? So
yeah.
But then, do they create another Wolverine? That's where it gets deep.
Well,
can they pull
do
that
you
off?
integrate X-Men and because there are sort of
with our current cinematic?
Because they're supposed to do X-Force is supposed to be coming next because of Deadpool.
All right,
And that's,
those are the spin-offs from there.
Yeah, and
because Logan, as you remember, ends that storyline
Yeah.
completely. There's no more there's no more trailer, so it's like that's done. That is finished.
Well, you could have had New Mutants from there.
Possibly
with those with what's her name?
Yeah, or Legion type show from those kids.
Yeah, exactly.
They're hunted. They're running everywhere. Those kids. What are we doing? We're chasing those damn kids.
We could start a show. It's a weekly show. It's like fucking Hulk, but you know. At the end of the week, we got these 4 kids walking down the road.
But they have that. They're being chased down the road.
Yes.
Every episode.
Everybody likes when people are chasing kids.
And when they
those are
finally
always made
set
for
up,
great shows.
The part of the show will be that the kids get into the schools and they encounter the biker episode. They encounter like the Hulk, like
School
the race
shooting
driver.
episode.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, let's not do baby Muppets or Muppet Babies, please. See, that's my problem. When we were talking about origin shows before,
all right,
that's where my mind goes crazy. Because, like, really? Now we're fucking up a previously held timeline continuity.
For the Muppets?
Well, whatever. You know, Muppet Baby. You know, when people, like Gotham, really, again.
Gotham is real.
Let's tell the most uninteresting story.
The years before Batman.
Yeah, like anyone fucking gave a shit. The only reason people gave a shit about Gotham was because Batman lives there. But anyway, fundamentally flawed.
It has its downsides.
I could do so much more on every level. We should have had Joey in here too. That would have been fun.
Joe would have been nice to see Pork Chop Murphy.
We got a 3-way.
Then we could talk about the original Art Bone Shotgun.
You're lucky.
All right, sorry about that, folks. We had to take a little break, a little bio break, but we're back.
I think it had to be 2001, 2002, because he was listening to
this is a Joe story.
This is a Joe story.
Our buddy Joe, Pork Chop Murphy.
Vindy. What was the name of that band? The one from Sweden.
Oh.
Do what you want, because I want to. That was out, and he had that. And we listened to that.
I kind of know who you're talking about.
They did Vindy. I forget the name of the That was the name of the album.
Yeah. Okay.
And there was anyway, we went into a Comic-Con, and it was probably September or October. And we met Adam West.
Was this New York?
This was New York, but very low key. It was a lot of comic books.
It wasn't like New York City Comic Con?
There was not. No, there was not the cosplay. There was no costumes, which
Okay.
makes me believe that it was not a Comic Con type event. You know, like
this is what year?
This is about 2002.
Okay.
Early
All
2000,
right.
late
All right.
2002.
17 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow, so weird.
And the guest speakers were Adam West
That is so cool.
and Rutger Hauer.
Did you realize how lucky you were?
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, Rutger
Wow,
Hauer was
did
there.
you know how lucky you were?
And
Probably
Billy
not.
D. Williams.
Oh, wow.
man.
Hey.
So we went up
Lando.
and Joe.
Lando.
So Joe went up and got paid. We got to shake out
And
Adam
also,
West's hands.
Two-Face, kind of, sort of.
Right.
Because he was...
He was Two-Face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't Two-Face. He was what do you call it in both Batman
and the Batman
and
Begins.
Batman Returns. He was the guy who would become Two-Face if they ever gave him a chance.
No, that was Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent. He was Harvey Dent. Yes.
Right. Okay. That was Ethan. Was it? Well, anyway.
Very
so we
small
met, but Adam West. So he goes up. You would shake his hand, and if you wanted to get like a picture with him that he would sign, it was $25. So Joe, going for
which
that.
actually isn't that bad.
That's reasonable.
Right.
Well, this was also
That
17
was
years ago.
So 17 years ago. So we debated like, should we get a Colt 45? And ask Billy D. Williams.
I remember that.
Sign it.
Oh my God!
And
guys.
then it was like, would they throw us out? Would they do? What would they
Yes,
do?
they would.
Would that be wrong? Bad taste? But I mean,
Did
then
you
I'm
do
thinking,
it?
We debated. Like, what was Billy D.
you
Williams?
just debated.
None of the stars were like under anything. Like Billy D. Williams was there because of Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
And Rutger
for
Hauer for the
paid
Hitcher.
appearance.
Right.
The Hitcher.
He wasn't there for the.
Oh,
Malt
Rutger
Liquor.
Hauer's been in a lot of stuff. Wasn't he?
A lot of stuff.
Has he been in Star Wars lately? Was he in
I don't
Star
know.
Wars?
He might have been like a real
I
background.
feel like he was some.
The Batman
like he-
Begins was the
No. He's been in the Marvel universe. He was in Iron Man. Oh, no. He was in Batman. That's what.
Yeah,
He was in Batman.
He was the
He was
evil
the-
head of Wayne Enterprise.
That's right. That's
The
right. I'm like,
corporate
I know I've
CEO.
seen this motherfucker in a real
Right.
fucking
Was
movie
he
lately.
really? That's
Yeah. It was in Batman. It was Dark
Batman
Knight.
Begins and Dark Knight.
He's definitely in Dark Knight. Because did you
Rutger
get
Hauer.
The memo.
Yeah.
And then Lucius Fox in the second one, I think, where he becomes, or the third one is where it's the second one where he creates the IE life.
Well,
the tie-in, the government.
Are we going to talk about the third one? Because that's I have a soft spot for that because of Bane. He's got to be my favorite. Oh God darn it! How did that happen? Why is that not playing? Actually, something's wrong. We lost our sound. Oh no! Oh well. Things are signaling the end.
The end.
I lost my sound. I've lost my sound. I've lost my sound files. Usually,
Bane is taking a well-needed break.
yeah, I guess so. Well, that's so weird because everything was working before. Now all of a sudden it's just.
He'll
not.
come back with lots of energy next time.
Oh, I think I know why. Yeah, I just figured it out. So,
my permission to die.
Uninvited,
he's
usually.
back.
Of course.
Yes. Do you have anything you'd like to ask Bane?
No.
No, not this time.
He's just like.
Any yes/no questions, he will gladly answer.
Like a magic
He's
eight
not
ball.
like I was just going to say that.
Like a
the
magic eight ball.
Yes,
Fish it in.
exactly. It had to
Like
be
a Bane
yes/no.
ball.
The
Yes,
Bane
he is the Bane ball. He'll even throw in a.
Of course.
Every now and then.
Every then.
Of course.
What would the other ones be?
Calm down, Doctor. No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
It's a little more obscure one, of course.
And then, when it is done, then you have my permission to die.
I love that Bane character.
great
I
one.
love that Bane character. It's so goofy. I know he's not like the Mucha
But
Lucha
no one-
wrestler
Right.
beginning.
But no one.
Although
can
he was
Tom Hardy.
He was
Oh my
born
God,
in
Tom Hardy.
he was born in prison originally. I
No
believe.
one
Right.
can
Both
play
Banes
him like
were.
Tom
And he got
Hardy.
out, and he's the tie-in to Ra's al Ghul.
Yes, and he did break Bane's back.
I love
Yes.
Tom
So the three great ones: the Joker, Ra's al Ghul, the man who technically should live forever, who really
Yes.
should be immortal, and the concept is immortal,
Yes.
and it passes on, and then Bane.
I really think though, my concept now is if I were given a chance, you could do Batman or you could do whatever.
Right.
I would take Batman and I would turn him into the bad guy that he is. I would because he is. He's a right-wing asshole.
He's
He
a
is-
right-wing vigilante.
He is. He's fucking like Rush Limbaugh in a batsuit. If you think about it.
If you think about it, 'cause he's
a
independently
rich
native.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Batman's
fix
a
it.
vigilante.
So you make him the fucking bad guy, and you make Green Arrow have to fucking take him down. Because Green Arrow is sort of like the liberal,
Right.
good version of Bruce Wayne. He's like the altruistic version.
Do you have a Superman in that universe?
I guess we would have a Superman in that universe, but maybe we could do it like we figure out how to get him, write him out.
I think what they would do more is a Green Lantern, a Hal Jordan versus. Bruce
No,
Wayne.
because Green Lantern is almost like Batman because he would if you remember the Green Arrow, Green Lantern series, he
Right.
he was the cosmic enforcer,
Right.
That's why you want Green Arrow against Batman because Batman is a fascist prick.
Green Arrow is very much like Batman, though.
Yes, but unlike Batman, he was altruistic and liberal and wasn't like a douchebag. Like Batman is
like Bruce Wayne.
I'll pay for my private roads. Fuck you. You know, it's
Oliver Queen.
His motivation is much more selfish. Batman's is selfish.
Keep the street clean, like a Giuliani with power.
Exactly. A
And
right-wing douchebag. Exactly.
You could have that. That would suck. So Batman would be
destroy Batman.
Speaking of Giuliani,
do what fucking what's his name did to Superman to Batman.
Speaking of Giuliani, the president got a new
Dark
lawyer.
Knight.
Yeah, the president's got a new team.
Giuliani?
Yeah, he's on the team.
Yes, we heard. Oh my God! But wait, we haven't stumbled into politics. Do we want to really kill the show now?
No, we don't have to kill it. It was just a little. I was just throwing that out there.
I like
a little zinger.
You like this Batman discussion?
Yes,
the kind
that
of
is
stuff I
cool.
like to talk about.
That is the thing that
new
you
hero
should talk about.
concepts and how to change things on their ear.
Or make a good movie, and make a good concept, or a series where that character is just described.
And because think about it. Because Batman, what is his superpower? He is rich.
Right.
You know.
That's why I think the Venom, they should keep that completely separate. Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
It's tied into like the X-Men universe to some degree.
I would also like to see them. I think if I were in charge of the DC universe cinematically,
right,
I'd fucking reboot. I would do Superman, and I would make sure it was set in the fucking 30s when it was fucking originally set. And same with Batman. I would put both Superman and Batman,
the origin story,
set them in their time, and then what I would do is slowly peel out. Then you drop Batman Beyond and shit like that. You know, you jump it forward.
Right. It's eternal.
Yeah, and you keep it in its time zone. Yeah, you keep it where it was supposed to be. Isn't it more impressive there anyway? You know, if Batman pulls out a fucking cell phone now, who the fuck cares? But if he pulls out a cell phone in the 30s, it's impressive.
Right.
You know
Who
what
would
I mean?
play Superman in that? Who would be Superman in that
A
one?
good Superman movie.
In the 30s. Oh my gosh.
And you do it like you just
Who would be
kind of.
that Superman?
They would make Alec Isaac.
And it would just make it feel better. It would just feel right. It would have nostalgia to it. But now the fucking effects are such that it wouldn't look shitty or anything.
It's classy too because it's the 30s.
Yeah, it would be. And you could almost have the first tie into the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You could do so much. You could do all kinds of crazy.
Wait, we should just do it.
You could have a Professor Indiana Jones meet
you could
Bruce Wayne of the 30s.
Yeah.
You could pull from fucking what's his name's
That would be so fun.
New Frontier series.
Right.
Like they did. Like you could do it like that. Like there was racism, you know. Then that's why some heroes got killed and shit like that.
Right.
You know, you can give it like that whole the superhero world masks our own.
Or really, what you do is you just say like this: they're all individual movies of this universe, and you make the DC multiverse. You start just with this is the concept of multiverse.
You started at the beginning. You started with Superman in
And Batman.
1932,
Then Batman.
and Batman and Wonder Woman. You really should do. You should do the trilogy if you're going to do
That would be amazing. Someone else will be
set them
doing
in the
this.
beginning. Well,
We're
now they
not the
kind of
only-
messed that up by putting her into World War One.
Yeah,
But it actually works.
she could be important. Like anyway,
Yeah,
it's supposed to be in the
and
80s.
because
The next one.
If you think about it,
Is it
World War
really?
One was
Yeah.
very anti. I mean, it wasn't a very like.
I
World War
loved
II
it.
had a feminist revolution. That's sort of what she was. She was Rosie the Riveter on
Right.
You know. But it did give it more of a social context, putting it in World War One this time because it was so anti-feminine. You know, so back then, what a woman, wow, you know,
Yeah.
she a lesbian Wonder Woman. Yay! Anyway,
I mean, more of that. Yeah, more of that.
more of this.
More of this.
And Luke Cage anally raping women too on some shows. So hey, there was who says there's no sex in the superhero
How do you
world?
go from that to that?
I don't know. I'm just being crazy at this point. I think we should wrap it up and have some fun. Yay! What do we say?
Safe journey.
Where can folks find you out there on the interwebs? Are you on Twitter or any of that good stuff?
I'm on SoundCloud under Two Tone Tonk.
Okay.
Two-Tone Tonk.
SoundCloud, Two-Tone.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Two-Tone
music.
Tonk.
Music.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nice.
All right. So check out Rob.
Are you
over
still
on
playing the bass? Is that your number one?
No, I play like
And our
guitar.
friends in LA should definitely keep their eye out
And
for
I can officially
Mr. Rob
say yes. We have another friend in LA.
Yes.
because he's
Awesome.
definitely a good guy. And
I know it's not all about me, but I do feel kind of cool about that, being able to say that.
Yes,
Another-
and it's
another friend.
interesting to be back as a visitor in the state of New Jersey, the Garden State.
Yes.
A lot hasn't changed.
Notice
a lot
you have
has.
to pay to leave.
But he's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, he's
True,
not
yeah.
staying.
You pay to leave. So if you take a toll, you
will be
pay to
leaving.
leave. You don't pay to enter.
And he's happy to be going back.
Yes.
And I can't say I blame you. And legal weed and all that stuff.
All that, yes. Marijuana is illegal. It's
Yes.
recreational.
Yes.
The society is not crumbled. It is still maintained.
And you're in the ocean-grown center of the world.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I would be...
OG,
I don't think,
yo.
I think that is where the OG is.
Yeah.
Yes.
OG, the original OG. That vibe's there.
That does not mean original.
Health
gangster.
food is not... That's a misclaimer. There's not health food everywhere. As a
No,
matter of fact,
there's
you gotta go just like here, out of your way.
Yeah.
You still gotta go out of your way. Whole Foods and they do have.
But you better bring your own bags, motherfucker. You're gonna pay 15.
That is a good thing. I will say this: California has gotten me into the concept of I don't need a bag. Like I have a knapsack, because it's like I'm going to be buying stuff at a store.
Yeah,
that's right.
Just a few things, just a few convenience items.
Oh, you can have a bag that costs you 15 cents.
Right. Or 10 cents. And that is changing it. As a matter of fact, since I work in culinary, they've taken away the plastic straw and put a paper straw, green straw.
Oh my God.
That is next. There's
Yeah,
money in
I remember
recycling.
those paper straws. I remember how well they worked.
It does. It looks like when I first saw it, it looked like a pixie stick.
It's all
Remember that?
yeah, exactly.
A pixie stick.
I'm all for doing something if
Right.
it works. The paper straw didn't work so great. There's a reason why we evolved past those suckers.
No, those are gone.
Yeah. Not in our kitchen.
A paper straw.
Yeah.
Because those can all suck.
Yeah, they
I know, it's a one-time shot. It is.
Did you ever see the Wetlands documentary? There's a
No,
documentary
I did see that. Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's the way he was. Like he was trying to find all that stuff, and they were like,
change the world, and it's like you lose your mind.
Yeah, he was like, the paper straws.
You know, the only band I ever saw in Wetlands.
Just the
was
wife who divorced him later was like, the paper straws
Dale.
never worked.
You can make a crazy. You can't make a paper crazy straw. That's a concept that
Yeah, no, you can't. There's a lot of wax that would go into that.
But he was nice.
Because that's what they do. They wax those straws.
Right.
Keep them from just dissolving in the drink you put them in.
Oh my God.
Well, Rob, it's been very fun having you on the air. I'm
It's
so
been fun.
glad. And we're going to come out to California. You'll have to be on again. So
I will.
We'll make that a date. And it will be this year. So I hope. Right, Gene?
Yes.
Okay.
I love
So
California.
until next time, we're very glad that Rob's here. And check him out. Where again? Where can we check out your
We need
tunes?
to see
SoundCloud, Two-Tone Tonk.
Two-Tone Tonk.
We need to go to Harry Potter.
Is that the number 2 or TWO?
TWO.
Okay. There you go. You never know.
You
All right,
never know.
everybody. This is our buddy Rob, and we're going to check you next time. And where's my applause section? I can't find anything anymore because I'm in the Bane section. That's right, everybody. Rob McCausland. No, that's not the real applause. Where's the real thunderous applause?
I like the canned ones.
There we go. Yay.
That is an honor.
All right. And there you have our good buddy and friend, Mr. Rob McCausland. He's Rob McCausland. Rob McCausland from Boston.
I don't think it's from
Have it
Boston.
yet? No, I'm just doing a very bad accent, as you can tell. There you go, folks. It's our good buddy. If you're in the L.A. area, and you should see him wander into Scum and Villainy, a bald, lost person, say hi. Say, hey, Rob, we know who you are.
Does he wear a hat
Yo.
most of the time, or does he just let it?
I don't know. He probably does wear a hat.
Yeah.
He's probably rocking the L.A. Tag now anyway. The Dodgers. And
He's
all
got
that.
some nice. He had a little tan going on.
Yeah.
Because
Well, it's
he's
easy.
got the California tan.
It's easy.
California girls.
Please don't sing that horrible song.
They're
Thank you.
undeniable. That's not horrible.
We were at a fucking. Oh, okay, different song.
Yeah, that's the
we
Katy
were
Perry
at an event. We went to something like a party on Saturday night where the music was so bad. It was just like, why are we here?
Not like a party where like the music's like the background. Like the party where the music is kind of like a.
It should have been. It was a feature, and
A
the
feature.
feature like blew, and we're like,
Yeah,
what's
the
going
Beach
on?
Boys.
This is a clash of. When did oldies night
Yeah.
become like anyway cool? So yeah, that was disappointing. Anyway, yay! Thankfully, last night made up for it.
And last night was a lot of fun.
Yes,
I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So.
yes.
We'll
New
tell
friends
you.
are always great.
Yes.
Anyway,
What else can we say?
I guess tune into our other show if you want more
that's what we-
details on that in the future.
Yeah. We have
anyway.
a few things to talk about, though.
Yeah, we do. We're way overdue for a show in that regard. on that feed. So we have to make that happen soon.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. Well, there's no reason that we have to hold you kids after school. You've been very good, as usual. Matter of fact, you've been smart and good. And
no detention for you today.
And so with that, we will say much love, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
One by one and smirking like a thief, sleeping through another night and deepening our peace. Genesis and matter's wake is coming from our sun, living in this very moment, for this moment's done. But now I see the dawn will come and we are crazy dreams and nonsense schemes, the Godhead in the skies. Powers from our Mother Earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls to bind as one. Come join us if you please, if you please. As we worship at our shrine, bursting flowers into bloom, there's no such thing as time. Powers from our Mother Earth will blow us to our knees. Twisting, turning minds are burning, join us if you please. And now I see that I am just beginning its demise. Flashing bits of comic light that vanish from the skies. Powers from our Mother Earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls to bind as one. Come join us if you please, if you please. If you please. If you please.
There he is. It's that man standing over Blood Alley Square, protecting us all. Go get him, that man.